And there it is. Unnecessary jibber jabber. I cannot believe he said that. What did you just say there? All of that in play, that noise making session again. One man went to mow. Let's do it one more time, or let's do it yet again. One man went to mow, the eagle has landed.
Hapa o naido. Hapa o naido. Hapa you don't come o. Hapa o naido. Hapa o naido. Oro kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mùyé o. Ilé ṣọ́díyà kẹ̀kẹ́ rẹ̀ ẹlẹ́mùrè o. Bobby Master kẹ̀kẹ́ rẹ̀ ẹlẹ́mùrè o. Chief Failati kẹ̀kẹ́ rẹ̀ ẹlẹ́mùrè o. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹlẹ́mùdé. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹgbẹ́ ẹlẹ́mùdódò jàre o. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ Ghana ti dé ẹgbẹ́ bọ́ọ̀dì o. Ọmọ ẹlẹ́yẹ ẹ̀yẹ òdìlé o. Odúyẹ̀lá ẹ̀yẹ òdìlé o. Petrosona ẹ̀yẹ òdìlé o. Petrosodúnkẹ́ ẹ̀yẹ rẹ̀ òdìlé o. Ẹlẹ́kọ̀ ọ̀run mú ìní o. Àkùkọ ọ̀run mẹ́kọ̀. Ikú kò ní rí wà gbéṣe o.
And there we are. And there we are. Iku Koniriwa Gbeshe, the powerful Kegite. So powerful prayers, as I often say. Iku Koniriwa Gbeshe, as guys, I bring you this. Akande, this is BISI Akande, of course. Akande, Buhari promised to pick Tinubu as running mate in 2015, then reneged. So Tekia, of course, is a term now that we've now had to familiarize ourselves with, just by virtue of our association with their bouquets from the north. You know, they're never off their word, and Tinubu should have known better. But alas, he gets shafted. Akande, Buhari promised to pick Tinubu as running mate in 2015, then reneged. So, of course, I mean, only a fool will claim to be surprised at that, knowing the history of those people. Nnamdi Kanu, court concludes hearing on IPOB's leader's case. So it looks as though a verdict might well be coming in from the plethora of lawsuits that involves the name of Umar here born. So it looks as though this one now reaches its conclusion, whichever one this is. Nnamdi Kanu, court concludes hearing on IPOB leader's case. So quite what's going on there, we find out just shortly. Nigeria will record another peaceful transfer of power in 2023. So that is Malam Buhari now signaling to Tinubu that he's going to dump him, use and dump. So, of course, I mean, just really he's going to clean the slate and not hand it to him, essentially what he's saying. Nigeria will record another peaceful transfer of power in 2023. So quite what the Fulani headsmen and the bandits and the Fulanis have to say about that, we don't know, because, of course, any and everything they did not to have peace in Nigeria, all up to 2015 until date. Harsh economy pushing Nigerian women to commercial sex. So rights groups saying this. So we all know this narrative, of course. Every girl that passes through the university has some sort of a risto, a pseudonym for a sugar daddy. So essentially, a good 80-90% of the Nigerian vibrant and virile females essentially side betting, taking commercial value of their being. Let's put it that way. They take commercial advantage. They explore the commercial value of their being. harsh economy pushing Nigerian women to commercial sex rights group. So quite what's being said there, we'll find out shortly. Buhari, we will hand over to winner of free and fair election. So either or, one of those two headlines, but certainly both of them point to Tinubu and the shafting of him. So let's just leave that because the follow-on story is still of the same ilk. But let's land on this one. Political parties will bear cost of direct primaries. INEC now speaking to that space because, of course, you know that the country has been clamoring for direct primaries. So if you're going to have direct primaries, then you bear the cost, essentially what INEC is saying. But before anything is said and done, let's come in via what is now the traditional quarters, which is the eastern quarters, and another Python dance.
Python dance 1, Python dance 2, now Python dance 3. Unaboli Mary Nnamdi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2, now Python dance 3. Unaboli Mary Nnamdi bu onye du aimo. O Mary woni nisu ngiro ya abakare. Nnamdi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2, now Python dance 3. Unaboli Mary Nnamdi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2, now Python dance 3. Unaboli Mary Nnamdi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2, now Python dance 3. Unaboli Mary Nnamdi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2, now Python dance 3. Unaboli Mary Nnamdi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2, now Python dance 3. Unaboli Mary Nnamdi.
And there we are. Nnamdi win a war. Python dance, Python dance. Nnamdi win a war. Python dance, Python dance. Nnamdi won the war. As guys, I bring you this. Akande, Buhari promised to pick Tinubu as running mate in 2015, then reneged. Former governor of Osun State and ex-interim chairman of the All Progressive Congress APC, Chief BISI Akande, yesterday narrated how General Muhammadu Buhari, as he then was, the presidential candidate of the party at the time, promised to pick Bola Tinubu as his running mate in the 2015 election, chronicling the events that led to the eventual selection of Professor Yemi Osinbajo. Akande, in his autobiography, My Participations, published by Gaskia Media Limited, disclosed how Buhari, who was then under pressure to drop the former Lagos governor, later reneged on the agreement. In the book, which was launched in Lagos, the octogenarian also took a swipe at the trio of Ayo Adebanjo, Olufalaye, and Sir Olaniwun Ajayi, coming short of accusing them of selecting themselves to represent Yoruba people during Goodluck Jonathan's national conference because of what he termed generous allowances. Akande stressed that despite the pledge to make Tinubu his vice presidential candidate, Buhari later faltered, saying that he only said that he wanted the former Lagos governor to partner with him. But the politician admitted that at the time Buhari was under enormous pressure, especially from some northern governors who insisted that a Muslim-Muslim ticket arrangement was a no-go area. He revealed that it would be the second time that Tinubu would be getting very close to becoming a vice presidential candidate, noting that the first time was when Atiku Abubakar, who was then contesting as president, later chose Ben Obi. I'm not sure if that should be Peter Obi, but He revealed that it will be the second time that Tinubu will be getting very close to becoming a vice presidential candidate, noting that the first time was when Atiku Abubakar, who was then contesting as president, later chose Ben Obi. Akande confirmed that Tinubu was instrumental to the emergence of Osinbajo as running mate to Buhari after he was formally dropped and asked to submit three names from the southwest, from which Buhari would pick one. According to the book, Buhari at a point during the formation of the APC started to admire Tinubu for his business acumen and his ability to organize people, key features that got then candidate Buhari close to the APC national leader. In April 2014, I was in Abuja when Buhari called me and asked me to persuade Bola to run with him. Governor Masari was the one who came to call me. When I followed him into Buhari's private lobby, Bola Tinubu was already seated. So, when Buhari tabled the matter, I cautioned them that this might not get out so, when Buhari tabled the matter, I cautioned them that this must not get out beyond the four of us. How could he be talking of a running mate when he had not secured the ticket? I mused. I thought such information, if leaked to the general public, might affect the conduct of the party's congress at the presidential primaries, if not its choice of candidate. I thanked Buhari for thinking so highly of our friend. Bola later told me that Buhari's emissaries had been coming to him, but he tried to dodge the gesture and not show interest. We agreed that we would reopen the matter when Buhari had secured the ticket, he explained. However, he expressed surprise thereafter when Buhari became the party's candidate. Things changed with former APC chair Odige Oyegun, who was supported by Tinubu to become chairman of the party, asking for names from the geopolitical zones from where Buhari will pick his running mate. He said it was from this list that Buhari would choose a running mate. I objected. I turned to Buhari, General, where are you choosing your running mate from? He answered, the Southwest. Oh, I didn't know, Oyegun said. He apologized. I didn't know why Oyegun made that proposition and at whose behest. As the chairman of the party, maybe some people pushed him to do that, he noted. Akande continued, then I called Buhari aside. Is our arrangement still standing? I referred him to our discussion in April. He said yes. According to him, some members of the party eventually agreed that a committee should be set up to search for Buhari's running mate, a move himself and former governor of Edo State, Adams Oshiomhole, opposed. Adams Oshiomhole, then governor of Edo State, stood up and said we were being dishonest. He said he was a serving governor and many of those in the elders committee had been governors. Did we set up committees to give us our running mates? He asked. It is not fair. He further said what we were pushing was a dangerous act, and we should allow Buhari to choose his running mate. So we left, he narrated. Akande stated that he later came to know that some people constituted themselves into a group called Northern Interest Group, and they prevailed on Buhari not to allow a Muslim ticket. According to him, it was the following day after the Elders Committee meeting, which was deadlocked, that Buhari phoned Tinubu to give him three names from which he would pick a running mate. We were all in Abuja and Tinubu rushed to me with this information. He wanted to know whether the understanding we reached with Buhari had changed. I called Buhari and he told me now he needed three names from us. I was angry with him. General, this was not what we agreed upon, I said in annoyance. You are changing our arrangement. He knew I was getting angry. He said he was under pressure from some governors from the north, including those who were Muslim. I told him the slot belongs to the southwest, and amongst the Yorubas, religion is not a factor in leadership, he said. Akande added, Oshiomhole was surprised about the narration. If indeed you promised to make Asiwaju your running mate, it would not be fair to renege, he said. Buhari now said he never meant it that way. What he meant originally was that Tinubu would partner him. The former Osun governor explained that he didn't know what that meant because before they discussed the issue of Tinubu as the partner or vice president's ticket, a merger had been established and they were already partners. We were registered in July 2013, and he called me to prevail on Tinubu to be his running mate in April 2014. Buhari knew I was upset, but we tried to manage the situation. Perhaps he was overwhelmed by all those pressures. We decided to let him go, Akande said. He insisted that once it became apparent that Buhari would be the presidential candidate, he was interested in making Tinubu his running mate. In our years of interactions and engagement, he seemed to have come to know and admire Tinubu. He constantly seemed to admire Tinubu's business acumen, his courage in politics, his large heart, his native intelligence, his readiness to forgive those who have betrayed him, but who now show remorse, his empathy for the underprivileged, his capacity as a tactician and a strategist of the highest hue, his loyalty to the ideas of Nigerian unity and good governance, and his steadfastness to his friends. He added, according to him, without Tinubu, the APC miracle would have been more difficult, if not impossible. All these made Buhari admire and respect him, he said. He narrated that what prompted the push for Tinubu as vice president for the first time under Atiku was that anytime they said they needed money, Atiku would say, Bola, please help us. Bola Tinubu was the only one spending the money amongst us. The rest of us were poor. Tinubu also put all his energy and resources into the formation of the AC, and we felt he deserved a spot on the ticket, he wrote. He also wrote about Tinubu's frustration with the entire rigmarole, eventually opting to leave Abuja for Lagos. I don't want to be part of whatever you are discussing now, he said. I don't trust Buhari anymore. Even if we give him names, he may decide to go outside the list. So let him choose on his own. He was unhappy with Buhari. Um, I told him that was not the attitude to adopt. We were trying to toy with some names, and I wanted him to participate in the discussion. After some time, Amosun, Aregbesola, and I were considering some names. Then I decided to call Tinubu again. We negotiated with Buhari in 2011 and gave him a name to choose instead of Pastor Bakari. I spoke to Tinubu on the phone. Who was that person? It was Yemi Osinbajo, Tinubu declared. I asked Aregbesola to find out where Osinbajo was. He called him on the phone. He said, Yemi, where are you? Don't you know your case is coming up tomorrow? I am in Abuja to argue your case. Osinbajo answered at the other end. Which hotel are you staying? Osinbajo told him, I got a blank sheet of paper and wrote Yemi Osinbajo on it. I instructed Amosun and Aregbesola to deliver that note to Buhari immediately. It was almost midnight. Then the two of them left. He continued, I was waiting for Buhari to call me after he must have received my message. He did not. It was Tinubu who came to me at the wee hours of the morning. He was not in a good mood and was worried that Buhari might visit our efforts with bad faith. Let us go back to Lagos, he said. Why? I asked. Maybe Buhari has his own agenda, he said. Even if we give him a name, he might not use the person. Maybe he just wants to use us for whatever his agenda might be. I reassured him that Buhari will not disappoint us and that he would agree with our choice as the vice presidential candidate of our party, Akande said, taking a swipe at the trio of Adebanjo, Ajayi, and Falaye. Akande said it was surprising that the elders could not find any younger Yoruba taking a swipe at the trio of Adebanjo, Ajayi, and Falaye. Akande said it was surprising that the elders could not find any younger Yoruba to send to the conference to represent the interest of the ethnic group. They believed, even in their old age, that they were the only people who could have gone there. Sir Ajayi, who was close to 90 at the time of the conference, has since joined his ancestors. Chief Adebanjo celebrated his 90th birthday in 2018. Chief Falaye is in his 80s. Note that Jonathan paid the conference delegates generous allowances. Chief Olufalaye, a trained civil servant who after retirement became decorated into leadership by his former military bosses, has since been trying to blindly straddle Nigeria's complicated politics. He opined. He characterized Adebanjo as a blank, politically minded leader who recognizes ready he characterized Adebanjo as a blank, politically minded leader who recognizes readily and always that he never has what it takes to aspire to high political positions. He constantly harbors lumps of yellow hate bile in his heart for any co-political leader with brighter chances for any major public office within or outside his political party, he posited. Akande further noted in the autobiography that the APC did not have restructuring in its manifesto for the 2015 election, but promised to support devolution of powers from the center to the states. It is therefore mischievous to place the responsibility for effecting restructuring on the APC or its presidency and not appreciate that it would require deft negotiation amongst such members from different ethnic nationalities and constituencies and zonal and religious backgrounds before any political party or ethnic nationality could successfully issue any fiat on the National Assembly to make laws on power devolution or on restructuring, whatever it might connote, he argued. So there is now almost worth buying this book because it looks as though it might well be an expose from a BISI Akande. So there you are. Everybody gets a lashing from the Egba man or wherever he's from. Nnamdi Kanu, court concludes hearing on IPOB leader's case. A High Court in Abia State sitting in Umuahia on Friday concluded hearing in the fundamental rights suit filed on behalf of Nnamdi Kanu, the detained leader of the outlawed Indigenous People of Biafra IPOB, by his special counsel, Barrister Aloy Ejimakor. Correspondents report that the suit was filed on the 27th of August 2021 against the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Attorney General of the Federation, and 6 others, seeking the stoppage of Kanu's prosecution and release from detention. At issue is Kanu's transfer from Kenya to Nigeria in June this year. Today, the parties joined issues and adopted their processes. In his address to the court, Barrister Ejimakor stated that it is important to emphasize that the suit is aimed at barring the prosecution of Kanu and securing his release from detention because the opposite will amount to rewarding the government for the injustice inherent in the illegal rendition of Kanu. He cited to the authority of the Nigerian Constitution, case law, and other authorities. In their counter-arguments, the lawyers to the respondents, which included Barrister Simon Enoch for the AGF, Omo Osage M for the police, Amos Tori for the Army, and C. Odukwe for the DSS, raised preliminary objections to the jurisdiction of the court to entertain matters pertaining to the federal government. At the conclusion of oral arguments, the presiding judge, Justice Benson Anya, informed parties that they would receive a hearing notice bearing the date the court will render its judgment. So this is the thing now, because the Nnamdi Kanu storyline is multifaceted. So at the peak of it is these charges that is facing, that is at the peak of it rather are these charges that is face. I can't say facing, charges that is facing. At the peak of it are these charges that he is facing at the federal level. So charges of treason, terrorism, etc. So those are the marquee charges that he is facing. But in the build-up to those charges are a series of other legal arguments that still needs to be settled before they land at that crescendo. And one of these legal arguments that are being argued is that the act of Nnamdi Kanu being in Abuja itself is an illegality. So you cannot then get a just justice off the back of an illegal act. You cannot get what is just and fair as justice for the charges that Nnamdi Kanu is facing, predicated upon an illegal act conducted by Malam Buhari and his co-travelers. So this is really, so there's a whole march, a whole match of build-ups to that space. So we go on to this one. Let me see. Let's take all right. I'll skip the actually I'll cancel this one out because it's duplicitous somewhat. So let's now go to the ASHAWOification of the Nigerian women. Harsh economy pushing Nigerian women to commercial sex, rights group. An international women's rights organization under the aegis of BOBAB for Women's Human Rights on Friday said the harsh economic situation in Nigeria has made many girls and women vulnerable to harmful practices, including commercial sex and young marriage. The organization, therefore, called on President Muhammadu Buhari to put the economy in the right shape to end all the odd means of escaping from economic hardship. The executive director of BWR, Bumi Dapo Salami, raised this point during an interactive session with journalists in Abuja with the theme, Let's End Violence Against Women and Girls. She also put the number of victims of violence at over 30 million. Dapo Salami said women who were resilient on daily wage, who were not resilient but reliant. Dapo Salami said women who were reliant on daily wages were mainly victims when the C-19 pandemic started in 2019 due to economic decline. She regretted that the 30 million statistics was more than the population of 5 African countries when put together. Dapo Salami said, gender-based violence is one of the world's most prevalent human rights violations, taking place every day, many times over, in every corner of the globe. Current estimates show that 1 in 3 women will experience physical or sexual violence in their lifetime, perpetrated in private and public arenas by an intimate partner, family, neighbor, employer, instructor, etc., etc. Additionally, the economic decline as a result of the pandemic, which has left many women who were reliant on daily wages in dire economic circumstances, increases women's and girls' vulnerability to negative coping mechanisms and have harmful practices such as transactional sex. According to 2021's estimates from the World Health Organization, almost one-third of women aged between 15 and 49 worldwide have experienced some form of violence, whether physical, psychological, sexual, emotional, or economic harm at the hands of their partner. So on and on it goes, but essentially we know the thrust of that. Uh, so let's now go to this. This essentially a clap back at Tinubu. We will hand over to winner of free and fair election in 2023. With barely 18 months to the end of his 8-year rule, President Muhammadu Buhari on Friday assured the international community of the readiness of his government to hand over the reins of power to the winner of free and fair general election in Nigeria in 2023. He also declared that democratic rule in the West African sub-region is currently being threatened by undemocratic takeover of governments by the military. Speaking at a virtual summit for democracy organized by President Joe Biden of the United States, President Buhari said necessary mechanisms will be strengthened to ensure that Nigeria witnesses another peaceful transfer of power by May 29, 2023. He said, as we count down to our next general election in 2023, we remain committed to putting in place and strengthening all necessary mechanisms to ensure that Nigeria will not only record another peaceful transfer of power to an elected democratic government, but will also ensure that elections are conducted in a free, fair, and transparent manner. I am proud to state that Nigeria has had over two decades of uninterrupted democratic governance and has unequivocally remained committed to upholding core values and principles of democracy. Since assuming office in 2015, we have been able to introduce mechanisms to ensure free, fair, and credible elections. We have strengthened our key anti-corruption agencies. Pardon me, I'm just gonna wait. Hold on. I just need to sneeze for a moment. Just bear with me 1 second. There you are. Always an untidy look when you sneeze on the screen, but sometimes, that's just the way it is. When the nose twitches, then you have to have a sneeze. So that's that by the side. Since assuming office in 2015, we have been able to introduce mechanisms to ensure free, fair, and credible elections. We have strengthened our anti-corruption agencies in collaboration with international partners and have undertaken several anti-corruption measures. Bear with me. Just bear with me 1 second. I just need to grab a tissue. Just bear with me 1 second.
Python that's 1, Python that's 2, now Python that's 3. Unapoli Mary Nnamdi win the war. Python that's 1, Python that's 2, now Python that's 3. Unapoli Mary Nnamdi bu onye du aimo. O Mary Wonelizu.
So there you are, the Python dance, still Python dancing. So where were we? Since assuming office in 2015, we have been able to introduce mechanisms to ensure free, fair, and credible elections. We have strengthened our anti-corruption agencies in collaboration with international partners and have undertaken several anti-corruption measures and initiatives. According to him, Nigeria continues to face security challenges, which poses a threat to democracy and therefore called on global partners to support our efforts in tackling insurgency and terrorism. President Buhari thanked President Biden, the government, and people of the United States for hosting the summit. As you are aware, democracy has remained the most popular and universally recognized way of governance thus far. It is one governance system that guarantees freedom of speech, rule of law, respect for human rights, and inclusiveness in governance. It also promotes social justice, economic and social development, and national and global peace. However, in spite of these laudable qualities, More is required from us as members of democratic societies, particularly in ensuring that democratic institutions and processes are strengthened, particularly during this period of global pandemic, which has strengthened social cohesion in most democracies. We therefore must remain resolute and enhance cooperation so that together we build back better democratic institutions and sustainable democratic values, the president said. So is he even able to read these words is the thing. But let me just abandon that. The direct opposite of who Malam Buhari is exactly what that speech tells us. Social cohesion, balance, equity, and fair play. This is what Buhari is preaching to the Americans. They say practice what you preach. So now we learn finally on this last storyline, political parties must bear cost of primaries, INEC. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, says it has very little role to play in the conduct of direct primaries by political parties for selecting their candidates for elections. Professor Mahmood Yakubu, the chairman, INEC, disclosed this when he met with members of the House of Representatives Committee on Appropriation in Abuja. Representative Mukhtar Batira, APC Bono, the chairman of the committee, disclosed this when he addressed newsmen shortly after the closed-door meeting in Abuja on Thursday. The meeting followed the resolution of the House mandating the committee to interface with INEC on the cost implications of direct primaries by political parties as contained in the 2021 Electoral Act Amendment Bill. Batira said that Mahmood told the lawmakers that the conduct and funding of primaries were basically the function of political parties and not the umpire. In our discussions with the INEC chairman, we wanted to know the requirements for the 2023 election, as well as the cost of direct or indirect party primaries. On the primaries, when we discussed with him, he specifically told us the role of INEC in the direct and indirect primaries, which he said is just minimal. He said the responsibility lies with all political parties. He said party primaries are the role of political parties and not INEC. For direct primaries, what the INEC chairman told us is that only the political parties have the responsibility on primaries and the funding of primaries. Mr. Batero quoted Mr. Mahmood as saying that INEC was not interested in evaluating the cost of primaries because it was not part of its function. So the heavy weight of who carries the burden of that now insertion in the Constitution is the thing. Ola, I see you. Thomas, I see you. And UK, I see you. So to you, Thomas. Thomas, are you there? Oh, no.
Yes, please.
All right, good to have you, Thomas. So Thomas, now this real revelation by BISI Akande's autobiography, where he charted the inner workings of the build-up to the 2015 election, and how Buhari pointedly said to him and Tinubu that Tinubu would be his running mate, and as ever stabbed him in the back. So what are you making then as the opening bombshell?
One man, they know what they are doing. Buhari, he's supposed to pick Tinubu for his running mate, but you know all this religion and ethnic divide about ticket of Muslim to Muslim, Christian to Muslim. Buhari is a Muslim. Tinubu is Muslim as well. They can't have both tickets, Muslim. So I think it's Tinubu that decide to single-handedly pick Osinbajo.
No. That's not true. That's not what we read, and that is not what BISI Akande said. BISI Akande said they had an agreement all the way through that Tinubu was going to be Buhari's running mate. When Buhari then got the ticket, he then told them
Yes.
to go and bring 3 names from which he would choose, which angered Tinubu somewhat. And eventually the name Osinbajo came up. I don't even think it was actually Akande from just his account that chose that name.
So that means Buhari shank or Buhari which English will I use? Or betray Tinubu? As is
It's
this
the
what
usual
you're saying?
tequila, isn't it? You can never trust a Fulani man.
So all the narrative all along we have been hearing that Buhari Tinubu single-handedly put Osinbajo on the list. So that means it's false.
No,
Is
apparently not. Apparently not. I think Tinubu had picked Osinbajo as a candidate in a different permutation. I think maybe on the article in a different mix, he had picked him. So when Buhari then abandoned Tinubu as his running mate, then they were then scrambling. He told them to go and bring 3 names. So that angered Tinubu somewhat. But the name Osinbajo then came out of a conversation between BISI Akande, Amosun, and Aregbesola. So Aregbesola
Peshola?
was then tasked to go and phone Osinbajo to present himself. So that is how BISI Akande describes it.
So that means they are even. It doesn't make sense to me. Tinubu can be Buhari's running mate. It can't possible because
Yeah, go on.
both of them are Muslim. Christian will not vote for 2 tickets of Muslim. People are referring to back in the days of Abiola, that Abiola is a Muslim and the other guy is a Muslim. That time, the narrative that time is different from now. They can't have both Muslim on the ticket. Muslim or Southerner, most Southerner or Easterner, they will not vote for Muslim ticket. So I think Buhari did the right thing for the party. To me, that is my own opinion.
See, the story that was narrated by BISI Akande was that they did agree that Buhari and Tinubu would run, and they just more or less agree. It's like a gentleman's agreement was a situation which Akande was party to. But what Akande was then suggesting was that there was a lot of pressure because Akande was of the view that the South, they don't especially care if it's Muslim, because they don't really play too much to religion. But what Akande was saying was that the pressure was from the North to say to Buhari that you cannot run a Muslim ticket. So it was actually their bookies that pressured him to dump Tinubu. This is just what we're reading through the, yeah.
Yes, you are right. But do you think Muslims are not care about religion?
I don't think the South especially care. I think they'll probably look more to the quality of the person before they then look to religion. Do you think it is religion do you think religion drives the politics in Yoruba land? Or Igbo land? Or Igbo land?
It does, one man.
Religion drives the politics. They talk about religion in politics.
Why not? One man.
Right.
If they are saying no, they are deceiving you. Religion really take a big part.
That's politics. Not my own feeling, but of course, I don't feel that sense that religion is especially important.
No. One man. Religion is most, if it is not most, it's one of the key that drives it. It could be more done in the North because with their fanatics of religion, but true in South as well. Religion drive all these things. One man, religion does drive all these things.
Are you driving? I can hear indicator. Are you driving and are you turning? Are you driving?
I just park. I'm all right. I just reach up.
Okay, no, because I could hear the indicator tick tock, but I can't hear.
Yes.
Just you are turning in somewhere.
Turning to my house.
Yeah,
just
okay.
passed. So
All right, carry on.
religion really took a great impact in what we are saying. So I don't think Tinubu is he disagree with what Buhari did, because to me they can't have Muslim losing tickets. Maybe they finally decide that let's take Osinbajo so that we can run on Muslim and Christian ticket, which is much better. But if Tinubu is thinking that Buhari should pick him as a running mate, maybe it's a gentleman agreement, but logically that making sense and selling their party in a good way to the public, to the citizen, it could have been better this ticket of Christian and Muslim, so that at least they can have the feeling of the Muslims, they can have the feeling of the Christian. So I think it makes sense.
Apparently, from what we just read now, apparently Yemi Osinbajo did not even know anything was going on until they phoned him to tell him that no, you are going to be vice president. It was actually in court representing Aregbesola in a matter when Aregbesola phoned him. That's where you will say, you know that you're in court now and I'm representing you. Say, no, forget that one. You are going to be vice president. Oh, yeah. Yeah, mapo. You know, this is the thing. You know, that's how it went down, you know.
Well, man, it's paddy
Government.
Paddy government. It's very unfortunate, one man. So all this narrative I've been hearing about Tinubu single-handedly picked what they call it, Bajo that should go. That means the narrative is it doesn't correct with everything getting since these days.
You're breaking up somewhat.
Yes, I can hear you.
You are breaking up somewhat. But carry on. We can still make it. Carry on.
All we are hearing is that means is trash. We have been hearing since these days that Tinubu single-handedly picked
it's still Tinubu's boy though. It's still Tinubu's boy, and Buhari still chose him just as a nod to Tinubu. So it was because of Tinubu that Buhari chose him. I don't think Buhari cares about Osinbajo in any way, really. You know.
Of course, even one man to be candid with you, I didn't know anything about Osinbajo.
Yeah, nobody knew there was such a person.
No, I didn't know. Even though his son is this, is that, I didn't even hear that name before. But it's just of what it's just paddy. Who knows who knows we? That's why I said one man, that people should rightly choose who will lead them. It's not just small people in a cocoon or in a cabal that should decide.
No. But people, people only get to choose at the ballot box. That is just, and already the choices are already narrowed to who is being presented. That's just how it works. So people don't get to look at the whole country and then pick somebody. You choose from what is presented to you. That is the global practice.
But one man, I understand what you say. I'm talking about just 1,000 delegates. We choose the party ticket, the party candidate. Why can't it be the big, larger picture, like all the carrier of a party card, like everybody that carries a card?
Can I say something?
Yeah, come in, but that is direct and indirect primaries. But come in,
Thomas, don't you know that this thing run in billions? Do you think all the party have that kind of money? They already know who to choose, who not to choose. With their with other people even the international body, they know too. They will tell them, look at the people who want to bring in. Then maybe behind the door they will discuss. Then whatever thing they discuss, they will say, okay, they'll choose this person. They'll say, you go. And that person, you don't have any other choice, either to vote or you leave. At the end of it, they already know who will win. Either selection now. Selection, not election, selection.
I know. What I'm saying is, like, every card carrying person in Oyo State should be able to vote for a candidate of their choice in primaries, like lining of 10 candidates. Then every card carrying member of APC or PDP or ABGA or ADU should be able to choose.
Thomas, that is where we are. And that's what you are saying is the conversation that is going on in Nigeria. That is the direct and indirect primaries.
Yeah. So it makes sense to me. All this godfatherism of a thing, or one person single-handedly picking somebody that will represent the party in the poll, will be dismantled. Because, like, let's for example, in Lagos State, they have 10 million card-carrying member. You can't bribe 10 million people. It will be difficult. It's so that people of the masses will choose people that will go into the general public to choose who will be their leader. It's not that Tinubu will go there, bribe all the delegates. This is who we will vote for. What they did for Ambode in Lagos State. So I think that will be much better, so that all this godfatherism, all this this power.
Thomas, let me give you three quick. Let me give you 3 quick paragraphs for the benefit of where you are trying to go to. So this is for the benefit of where you are trying to go to. It says, included in the electoral reform bill passed by the Senate on Tuesday is the approval that political parties in Nigeria should adopt direct primaries to choose candidates for all elective positions, and that they should be monitored by the Independent National Electoral Commission. For simple definition, a direct primary is one whereby members of a political party choose their party candidates, whilst an indirect primary is one whereby party members elect delegates from amongst themselves, who in turn decide the party's flag bearers for upcoming elections. So that just speaks to that space that you're trying to go through, just the distinction between a direct and indirect primary. So where you are saying that the whole party should choose, that is where Nigeria is trying to go. So let me take you to the other half of what Chief Akande was saying. Then I'll take you to that space of direct and indirect primaries. So Chief Akande also added in that paragraph that I read, he threw acerbic remarks in the direction of Pa Adebanjo, Olufalaye, Sa Ajayi, etc. And he spoke to the space that these were the representatives of the Yorubas at the national confab that Goodluck Jonathan organized, and he speculated, he mused that how can people in their 80s and further down the line be the people representing the Yoruba voice in a conference that speaks to the future of the nation? He suggested that it was the generous allowance that Jonathan was handing out at that time. So what are you making of the criticism of BISI Akande to Pa Adebanjo, Falaye, etc.?
It's for me, it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make any sense to me. All these Yoruba leaders, one man, I don't think these people are for the people. It's just for their own selfish interest. I respect. I'm one of the person that I respect BISI Akande, because it's been somebody in that space that he speaks the truth sometimes, but from some times ago now, that man has kept muted. I don't know, maybe you heard from him, but for me, for long time, the man has kept muted about what is going on in Afenifere, in Yoruba, or all these secession, all this Yoruba nation. I don't think that man has already speak to that space. But to me, it doesn't make sense. Afenifere is there. The former Nadeko, everyone is there, but they are not speaking. They are not speaking. One man, they are not speaking. But for this man to come out now to speak, maybe he is having a change of mind. about what is going on in Nigeria, but maybe they think now the 2023 election is.
Thomas, what do
Yes,
you mean that Afenifere are not speaking?
About all this secession, that's what I'm saying.
Who's the they are talking? They are not. They are not. Afenifere is not for. They are for restructuring, and they are speaking. They're speaking loud and clear that the nation should be restructured to the way it was 60 before the military coup. That is their own position. They are not asking for Yoruba nation.
You are right. You are right, Ajale Koko. They are speaking, but their voice is not being heard. So if you
it's
are
hard,
speaking,
it's hard if you are not following them. Say you don't follow them. They speak loud and they criticize Buhari every day. Particularly Baba Yadebanjo. He criticizes Buhari, he criticizes Tinubu. For still remaining
BISI Akande
in
is
that party.
calling Baba your Adebanjo Onijekuje now. This is what he's saying.
What did he say particularly about him?
Hold on.
Who is Onijekuje between two of them? He that remain in the party destroying Nigeria, and they are stealing all the money. He want to call somebody that is outside the
okay. It's saying taking a swipe at the trio of Adebanjo, Ajayi, and Falaye, Akande said it was surprising that the elders could not find any younger Yoruba to send to the conference to represent the interest of the ethnic group. They believed, even at their age, that they were the only people who could have gone there. Sir Ajayi was close to 90 at the time of the conference and has since joined his ancestors. Chief Adebanjo celebrated his 90th birthday in 2018. Chief Olufalaye in his 80s. Note that Jonathan paid the conference delegates generous allowances. So only Jekuje. So only that is the only Jekuje part. Note that Jonathan paid the conference delegates generous allowances. So only Jekuje.
Why won't he? Has he not? He is a candidate that is talking. Has he not been? Has he not represented us before in Constitutional Assembly organized by Obasanjo? Was he not there? Was he not paid? Did he do it free? You see, people just talk nonsense sometimes when they want to sell book. So what he says there is just.
But he argues that Chief Adebanjo is not politically relevant. Is not a major player in political servitude to the nation. So why then would he propel himself forward in the manner that he has? Yeah.
Yeah, he's attacking Adebanjo because Adebanjo is attacking their party every day. Their president, Tinubu, and all of them in the APC. And that's why he's responding like that. He's not sincere with his response. Why is
he factual? Is it factual though? Is it factual?
It's not factual. It's nonsense. He knows that Adebanjo is relevant in the political scene
what
in Yoruba land.
What political office or impact has Adebanjo ever had on the Nigerian state? Has he ever been a governor? Has he ever been a minister?
No, he has been. He has been in government. He has represented. He was a House of Rep member, if I get it right, during the UPN time. So he was one of the UPN leaders during the time of Awolowo. So he was an associate of Awolowo, and he has been coming with ASHAWOS since the 50s. You know.
That is old school.
All right. All right. As Thomas said, that is old school.
Somebody is fighting for the interests of Yoruba people. Is the leading voice speaking for Yoruba interests. You are saying old school. Are the politician representing you well? Is Tinubu representing you well, or Tinubu, who is the leader? is
No, what
good.
I'm trying to
Uh,
Ajali Kogo, don't get me wrong. I'm saying
yeah,
is what BISI Akande is trying to say is that why
he's
can't we
talking
get the
nonsense.
younger ones?
He is talking nonsense. What of him? Why didn't he quit? Why did he remain as one of the leaders in APC? You see, people should just come because they want to sell book and attack other people as if that other people, the little bit they are doing, as if they have offended the nation or they offended their people. Look, every citizen have a civic responsibility. So Adebanjo is playing his own civic responsibility, and you are playing your own in APC, and you are attacking Adebanjo that.
But should Pa Adebanjo at 90 plus still be the voice of the Yorubas is the wider question.
What is wrong with him? Why won't it be?
Because he
He's
cannot
an elderly,
chart.
he's an elderly statesman. He's an elderly statesman in Yoruba, and he should speak when it comes to Yoruba interests.
Should he not sit in the background and leave
he can't sit in the background? Politician doesn't sit in the background, particularly when you attend the political leadership or the leadership of your people. He's a leader.
Should he not be a guiding hand rather than the foot at the front? Should he not be a guiding hand rather than the foot at the front?
The people put him in the front because of his experience, because of his knowledge in politics and the experience that they have had all these years since the 50s. People need people with experience in the front to lead sometimes. It doesn't mean that he's the one that is doing all the I mean, it doesn't mean that he's the one that is doing everything, but it's just in the front there as the most elderly in Yoruba, and a mark of respect for him, putting him in the front, while the secretary and other people around him are young people.
And all the dollars that Akande accused him of collecting from Jonathan on behalf of the Yoruba people.
He was paid for this job. Everybody that attended that was a member of that Constituent Assembly are paid some allowances and some money for the job they were doing. So what is the dollar that was paid to him? What of him? Did he collect his own dollar during the time of Obasanjo when he represented the Osun State in the Constituent Assembly? He's talking trash. Book. Don't attack other people. Write what you want to write, not by attacking other people that have not offended you.
You have to have some controversy in the book now. How can you write a book? Well, the book must have controversy now. Why it must have controversy?
He want to sell the book. He want to sell his book. That's why he put that nonsense.
Imagine if he wrote the book and said, "Oh, we were all nice to each other." Who is interested in that? Nobody is interested in that. But let's get back to Thomas. Thomas, you were speaking about the wider party having a say as to who gets to be the flag bearer of a party. I was explaining. Hold on, and I was explaining that essentially was speaking to language of direct and indirect primaries, and I went to dig up just a loose definition of direct and indirect primaries. So what you are saying essentially is that the parties should be run on direct primaries. And that was captured in the electoral amendment bill that recently passed through Parliament. But now that has passed through, but who carries the burden of the cost of that is the thing. Because, of course, let's take a party let's just use 100 as a figure just for the purposes of the example. So let's say there's 100 people in a party, and let's say traditionally the delegates for the 100 are 10 people. So when it comes to nominating flag bearers, it is those 10 people that will make those decisions, and the cost of that decision then is around those 10 people. So if you're saying now the whole 100 people have to make that decision, then that spreads a wider cost. So who carries that cost is where the argument is now. The parties are trying to pass it to INEC, but Mahmoud Yakubu is batting it back. So who do you think then should bear the burden of our direct primaries since it has now been instituted in law? So what are you making then of that argument?
One man, the parties should carry their cross. They should carry their cause, because the INEC has been helping them since this while, and I even the direct primaries, I prefer that. One man. Even some politicians don't like it. They don't like it because all this godfatherism will be broken. You can't bribe all the
Yes, it is more expensive to rig, isn't it?
You can. Yes, it's more expensive to rig. It is more expensive to rig. It will not be possible for them. So that at least we know we don't have any choice. The person that will rule us has to come from a party, which we know. There's nothing we can do. It's happened everywhere in the world. But at least let it have a larger number of people choosing who is going to be their flag bearer in the general election. Not small people being in a corner, just single-handedly picking like Tinubu normally does, like Saraki normally does when his father is alive. So I think the direct is a good way to go to strengthen our democracy, but it's just the funding that they are having problem now. If they are ready, they should fund it, or the government should try to maybe to share the money, maybe 50-50 or 50-60. INEC should take 60 or they should take 40, so that at least we can have these direct primaries. It's good, one man. It will really help. It will break all this godfatherism, all this settling. It will really help. One man.
All right, thank you, Thomas. And finally, Thomas, there's this report that came out that the economic hardship of within the Nigerian space is a third world phenomenon and a global phenomenon, but the example really to Nigeria. The economic hardship then is leading to women, somewhat young women, having to commercialize their body just because of the harsh realities of the space. So what are you making of that report, and what do you think the way out of it is?
One man, the report, I 200% agree with the report. 200% agree with the report. Our women are vulnerable because of the hardship in the nation. Our women are vulnerable. One man, every day we hear that the big man, Alajis, the big man, the wealthy man, carry women, use them for ritual, but there are still prostitutes on the street of Lagos, on the street of Abuja, on the street of Port Harcourt. Some ladies don't even care. If they want to use them, they should use them. So far, that time, they got what they want. Some ladies don't care. Even some ladies has even fortified themselves because they don't have any choice. Before they slept with them, they will have their own power with them that they will know maybe this man wants to sleep with them just for pleasure, or he wants to sleep with them because of money, or he wants to sleep with them because of another agenda. So the ladies they don't care. They don't care now because they just want something, money to put food on their table, get one small car, get iPhone 12 or iPhone 13, do a big girl, be equal with everybody going on the street. They don't even care. The report is 100% one man. Even it's not only the bigger ones, the mature ones. It even happens to the small girls on the street. Can you imagine, Mr. Biggs? If you buy Mr. Biggs Tantalizer, you are good to go. Let me just take you to.
Are you talking from experience? Is this what you are you confessing something here? Look at you, this guy.
I've never done that. No, one man. One man. Where are you going?
Where are you going is the question now, Thomas. What are you confessing to here?
I know
All
I'm
those,
not
all
perfect.
those,
This is
all
the
those, all those Molete girls. Is that how it goes
no,
down? Eh?
one man,
Now
one
you
man.
Thomas, eh? Thomas, I like Babo. Look at that,
No, it's just that is the reality on ground, one man.
Hmm.
I don't do that, but we saw them, we see them every day. Just Mr. Biggs and Tantalizer and Challenge. That is everything is done. So the report is 100%, but the way out. You said what is the way out? The way out is the country should work. The country is not working. If the country is working, people go to school, they come out, they already secure job. One man, my mom told me back in the days, before you finish in the university, companies is lining up, giving people employment before even getting out of the school. We don't see that anymore. People just go to school just for the sake of going to school. There are many people out there, they don't even practice what they go to school for. There are many lawyers out there selling clothes in Yaba. There are many professionals out there just wasting. Because the country is not working. If we get to some stage, you have to divert your profession. Go to another thing. Just
They are saying for you to survive in Nigeria, especially in Lagos, you have to have a minimum of 3 hustles. 3 hustles.
You are right. And I read one thing. They said if you
sorry to interrupt you, Thomas. I read once not that long ago, medical doctors that were working after their shift, they will go and Uber for like a few hours just to balance. Medical doctors, so they'll go and Uber for a few hours on the streets of Lagos.
One man, my own elder sister is a lecturer in FMC in Abeokuta. Her husband is a doctor in FMC in Harrow. In Harrow, because somewhere Harrow is a what they call it, like Harrow now in Abeokuta, who they take care of the mental ill people.
Mental, yeah. It's the way you are pronouncing it now. You are putting phone. Don't put phone now. Arrow. Yeah, go on.
Don't worry. One man, we are here. We have to put some phone, isn't it?
This is it. Of course now.
Yes.
Carry on.
So my sister husband is having small ozu. What my sister husband will do after getting out of the hospital, he has some patients. He would go and treat them in their houses. You as a doctor, one man, as a doctor, and he's a surgeon as well. He's a surgeon, he's a doctor, and he's a GP. He's having general practice. He will have to go and treat some people at home just to get extra income. My sister is a lecturer. He sells all these all these apps, like evergreen apps. That's all these apps they normally get from Indian.
Yes.
Yes, yeah, you know what I mean. So
drink this and you lose weight in 1 week, sort of thing.
Yes, you are right. You have to have extra income, extra ozu, even as a professional. So now go back to those people that are even professional. They are stark illiterate, just assailant, just carpenter. You just have to. One report came out that if you don't have more than 500,000 in your account, you are poor in Nigeria. You are a poor man. If you have less than 500,000 in your account, because 500,000 in Nigeria now, it's nothing. One man, it's nothing. 500,000 is nothing. Talking of food, fuel, they are thinking of taking out subsidy now. They are thinking of where we go back to up to 350, 400 per liter. One man, how will people survive? So if the country is not working, if the country is working, the ladies they are hardworking people. Ladies, they are They hustle more than men.
Yes.
But still they are the
You
vulnerable
see, it's
ones.
almost an impossible situation for women in Nigeria, because even if you don't want to do that, anywhere you go to hustle, just to ply a trade, to sell a product, to offer a service, there'll be some Mr. Big that'll be, offering you money for something and making it difficult if you don't, So ultimately, it's just a harsh environment for somebody to be proper within the Nigerian space. Your boss will proposition you, the clients will proposition you, the customers, they'll pressure you. It's just yeah, I can see where
One,
that report is coming from.
one man,
Okay, but round off
one
that
man.
space quickly. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. My
Yeah.
own second sister, which is my second born in my house, she's a banker before she left to America. He left banking sector, FCMB. He told me categorically, all those bankers you see, they are giving them target. Almost all of them, they are prostitutes. They have to sleep with these big men before they can give them their account. It's everywhere. My one sister, he resigned from FCMB Bank because everywhere he goes to get account from these big men, they will go first of all want to sleep with them. So ladies are vulnerable in that. You can imagine, you will see banker with suits going on the streets. You'll be saying you'll be envy her. You don't know what that lady is passing through. They said so it's our ladies are very vulnerable. One man.
All right, thank you,
That is
Thomas.
just my thing.
All right, thank you, Thomas. Stay with us. Let's go on from Thomas to Ola, who hopefully stay with us. Ola, are you there?
Hi, I'm here. Thank you.
Yeah, good to have you, Ola. So, this bombshell now by Akande, hopefully you heard me read it out. Buhari promised to pick Tinubu as running mate in 2015, then reneged. So, of course, we've always been of that thought, but an insider now tells us categorically. What are you making of Akande's bombshell?
Yeah, well, this Akande bombshell, I think, is new to me, to be honest, because I've always known different things about the situation. Because the situation, based on my earlier information, was that Buhari, first of all, in 2011, preferred Pastor Tunde Bakari. And where that one was not ready, he first of all recommended Niyi Adebayo, and because the audio is available on even YouTube, so now Niyi Adebayo was like afraid. That's okay. Have you informed Tinubu? So then when that of Niyi Adebayo was not flying because Buhari was not accepting, then Pastor Tunde Bakari proposed Yemi Osinbajo. So that's the first time the matter of Osinbajo will come. And
Okay, well, you can discount that because, of course, the chairman of the party who was part of that negotiation has now told us exactly what happened.
Yeah. So now, but it has always been in the known, really, because some people had opinion that okay, it was actually Fashola that this guy wanted, but unfortunately, it was not flying, and Tinubu was actually positioning himself, which some people actually vehemently opposed because of because I don't know, because people maybe perhaps they didn't trust Tinubu, or maybe because of the situation in the country as at that time, they now preferred someone that will not be Muslim ticket. Yeah, to me, when it comes to Buhari, when it comes to Tinubu, I think this is just my suspicion that maybe Buhari thinks that maybe he doesn't like him as the public would have wanted to believe, or he believes he may be too smart for him. So somewhere along the line, so for BC Akande to be saying this, I don't think I think it's now trying to bring out exactly what was like some kind of mind reading within their caucus. So, and it could be on the way to betraying Tinubu according to what they've already suspected. So it won't be a surprise, but uh,
What
well,
Mr. Akande was saying was that let me read you this paragraph. It says, but the politician admitted that at the time, Buhari was under enormous pressure, especially from some northern governors who insisted that a Muslim-Muslim arrangement was a no-go area. So it looks as though it was more than anything else, the religion was what really did in for Tinubu, because what Akande was suggesting was that even though the religion might not be a determining factor in the South, in the North, they held the view that a northern a Muslim ticket would not augur well for their party. So it looks as though he was shafted by even essentially the North.
yeah, even though if that's not where what they were going to, but they use that religion as a very potent tool, to disqualify Tinubu actually, because like I said, Tinubu may be too smart for them. That's one thing. And so anybody, because look at what Fashola did, for example, in Lagos. What will you now put such kind of person in power? You put the like of Tinubu in power, and maybe he managed to capture, he managed to edge some people out, for example, like he did to some of the southern politicians in the past, or maybe some leaders. And you put person like Fashola there that very veracious fellow that maybe he will find a way just to edge some people out based on what he tried in Lagos. So maybe they could not trust, and religion now was the next thing for them to use. So now,
There was a lot of conversation around religion in the build up to that election. There was a lot of conversation in the public space about a Muslim ticket and how people were opposed to that. So I think even the country at that time, they didn't have the appetite for that.
you see the Muslim ticket. Well, this thing was debunked sometimes in Nigeria. June 12th, 1993 was
No, we all know the Abiola narrative, but
exactly.
That was a fact that disproved the norm, if I can coin that phrase. But essentially, broadly, Nigerians don't take essentially to a Muslim ticket. This is just not the politics of the space.
Yes, I agree with you based on what is on ground and they are saying on as at that time. But even if this guy if this guy did not really mean that, but just because they were holding on to a potent weapon to egg this guy out, because in the South, for example, you will find out that, let's assume this guy had big Fashola, for example, that time. Maybe this religion thing will have not mattered. Will have not mattered, because the point is this: when you are talking to the elite, maybe the enlightened minds in the South, for example, this issue of Muslim Christian tickets sometimes may not even be a serious issue when you come to Southwest, for example. If you are picking the like of Fashola, maybe you are not picking the like of Rauf Aregbesola. Now, if you are picking the like of Rauf Aregbesola or this guy that had the Islamic, Morik or whatever in this thing now, maybe then the Southwest Christian may now oppose. But if you pick the like of Fashola, it might be another story entirely. But now, take the thing out of the public. But the political calculations, those people that would like to edge Fashola out, they add something potent in them, Tinubu, to just wedge those guys out. To me, around that place, BC Akande may be correct that religion will not actually play. But to those people that really want to, we really want to use that potent tools, they manage to weigh that in out. Then Now, this is what I think the calculation may eventually be now. For example, first, Tinubu in 2023 may, I think, this is my opinion, I think they may not like it because they've already used religion to push him out initially, but that guy is maybe too smart for them. Because when that guy gets to that place now, there is this tendency of bringing up his loyalists like he did in Lagos State and lock that political corridor out, lock it up and lock some people out. That can as well be the fear of this guy. That's just my own reasoning along that line. So they will do everything to use all those tools on ground, whether religion, whether ethnicity. They will just find everything to disqualify this guy. But unfortunately, Tinubu didn't learn from Awolowo.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Let me just acknowledge Alexander's super chat, and then we'll come back to you. And he super chats to agree with you, essentially, Ola. He says, Ola, you are right. Fashola has always been the president's closest minister. He wanted him to be VP. That's why during his first term, Tunde had 3 portfolios, albeit challenging and unusual. So that is just Alexander concurring with your narrative. So carry on. I just wanted to insert that here.
Okay. So, like I was saying, unfortunately, Tinubu didn't learn from Awolowo. You know, the only reason the like of Awolowo would not win in Nigeria was that maybe he was too smart for the political class. And a person like that will lock them out. And these guys, anybody that will take the daily bread, the means of their livelihood away from them, I think they will use all tools. And the tools will be something that will be so appealing that the populace will buy into. But to me, when it comes to religion, I want to guess. I'm not saying it categorically, but I want to guess that what BISI Akande said may be true, that when you come to the Southwest, they will first of all look at the competence, first of all, before they will even consider religion, because till now, religion has never been something that will build off, something that will...
No, religion has not been at the foremost of our Southwest politics. It's only a new thing now that we are starting to hear because it's been drummed up so fervently. But that's why Abiola was able to run a Muslim ticket now. They already saw in Abiola competency, and they then decided that, okay, let's not make things difficult for him, because religion is not that is not a deal breaker in Southwest politics, and even in Southern politics. I don't think even the East, especially, they care what religion the leaders are. They just want somebody that can do the job. But in the North, of course, religion is what they hinge everything on.
Exactly, that's the point. So, like I said, they just use that tools to wedge Tinubu out.
All right. And to the latter half of that piece, when he spoke about Pa Adebanjo and Falaye, etc., and essentially called them Onijekuje, that they were more interested in the monies to be collected from Jonathan than leaving the space clear for younger voices to speak at the national confab.
You see, one thing about this, for example, I don't want a younger person to talk to me when I'm 60 or 70 to ask me to quit a stage for him or her when I know that I'm competitive and I'm doing everything to occupy that position. If any younger person want to actually take over from all these elders, it is on that younger person to be competitive and prove his worth. You see, this is the part of problem we have in this country now. Look at this rotational presidency we talk about. Oh, it is the South, it is not. We are not even looking at the competence. So when people are saying quit the stage for the younger person, so assuming we have the best of the best in the category of the elders, for example, and the younger one, they are not even as competent, for example. I'm just painting an hypothetical situation. So the elders should just quit like that and go. Even for the younger one not to be able to even outstay the elders is telling on us that we are not ready. Because when we even talk of this elder, this thing, look at Yaya Bello, for example, look at Niyi Adebayo, where was there? Fayose came there as a younger person. Look at Gali Nahaba, look at all those people, look at Bankole, Dimeji Bankole. All those guys were youth when they got to that place. What did they do? They did worse more than the older politicians. So that's why I'm saying, to me personally, I do not subscribe to the idea of this the elders should go, because most of us that we even say that are youth today, you are going to become elders tomorrow. If you are more competitive than a younger one, we'll just say, okay, just quit that. How will I labor and you ask me to quit the state for you? You should try and upstage me rather than just, oh, okay, you are younger, so I just no. I don't subscribe to that. All those things, sometimes they are just political. They say, okay, what of if BISI Akande is trying to seek relevance? Now you have your factions among the elders, and you want to win support from the younger people, and just bring that politics to just mobilize sentiment, mobilize the emotion, and you pretend as if you are actually supporting the youth. Honestly, we should be talking of competitive advantage. Who can do this thing instead of using age, instead of using religion and using some other jargons? I do not really subscribe to all those ideas. The youth we have in political arena today, they are not better than even the old politicians we are talking about. So to me,
all right, thank you. Political parties will bear cost of direct primaries. So this is INEX speaking to the space. Of course, you must have been following the conversation that who should bear the burden of the because of course they've instituted direct primaries now almost as compulsory within the political space, but who carries the burden of the expense of it? So the party is trying to push it to INEC, but INEC pushes it back. So to that space, then who do you think then should pay for the direct primaries that they've passed in law?
if you ask me, just because of what we have experienced in the country before, and when it didn't work right, I would have suggested that the government should bear that cost, and there should be limits. They should put cap to what you can spend. Because why am I saying this is this? Look, if you want to come out today, let's assume some of us gather together, we want to take power away from these people. And these old politicians, they've stolen enough. They've stolen enough that they can even buy the entire country. And the newer parties that want to join that meet all the criteria, there's no way they are not going to get chance against these people. So if the government, let's say you put a cap that, okay, we cannot give more than let's say 1 billion for you to run this thing, and anybody that spent outside that is going to be treated like a common criminals, and you give some kind of level grant for everybody to be able to do this. So to me personally, allowing
but primaries are party matters, surely. So why should the taxpayer pay for what is essentially a private end? Because a political party is a private enterprise. It's not an NGO, it's not a government organization, it's a private enterprise. So why should the taxpayer bear the burden for that?
It's supposed to be, but we can't just use it generic. We have to look at what can work of our own system. We are in a system where one money bag will just hijack the whole political structure to its own advantage. So if we don't have anything, because like Babangida
but the government bearing the cost of the primaries, it doesn't stop the money bag hijacking it. It just makes it cheaper for him to hijack it.
I understand. I understand where you are going, but like what I was saying, I said you see the system Babangida implemented that time. It included things like this. like, you know, when you have a good political structure, there's a limit you can allow individual to spend. But in Nigeria, it's not the case. You know, it's only one person that we found the situation. Even we
Yeah,
see
do you
this
see that idea doesn't work in practice, because how do you police it?
exactly.
How do you police it? You say there's a limit to what you can allow one individual to spend, but then that individual will just break his spending to 10 individuals who are for him, and then they just still spend however much they need. It's not really something that it's just a nonsense
No.
thing.
It is unfortunate that we are not really serious about it. If we are serious about it, one man, it is what we can monitor. You know,
How
how
do
do
you
we
monitor that? If you
good?
say they can only spend uh 1 million, Atiku goes and spends his 1 million, Saraki then spends another 1 million on behalf of Atiku, but using different language, and then Wike spends another 1 million on so it doesn't mean you can't cap political spend. You know, they just record. I mean, how do
No,
it's
no, no.
just
I
yeah.
I think I agree with you.
Yeah.
That's a brilliant counter argument there. So, but to me, I would say we have to find a way to tame all these politicians really, because because this thing is, I just want a situation whereby every party, like those Showurena, when they were spending their money on those things, you know, when those people want to come on board, you know, we should find a way whereby they can have that money to be able. For example, why should someone be? Is it 25 million, or how much were you supposed to pick a presidential ticket when you were in PDP, for example? For if I want to go into politics, for example, how will you be expecting me now to bring my 25 million to that? So some people we donate, some people we just say, okay, they will just close you out of that system. They don't just give free level, so a level playing ground. So that is where I think when we are really serious with this thing, we need to make sure, is it possible, for example, that even if party will bear that thing, you make sure that maybe the government comes in and say, okay, presidential ticket, for example, cannot go, nomination ticket cannot just go beyond 5,000. All those things are what I think the government should be doing. Even if they're okay, if you even, let's even say you don't even have money to spend, for example, but you should make it possible for someone like me and you to be able to get to that place, nomination ticket. Let's even pick that ticket for 5,000 naira, and see whether we are even going to get our own people, and whosoever want more votes, let them come to us and negotiate too, and see whether we are going to deliver our people to them. But not a situation whereby the like of Tinubu, for example, with a bullion van, we just come to that place. Okay, I'm giving you guys 100 billion. So it technically locks out every other contestant. Look at what they did to even what's the name, Atiku, that as rich as he was. They book all hotel in Abuja during the during the PDP presidency, that all his delegates, they could not even find somewhere to stay. You know, so those kind of ugly situation, until we kill that situation. So that's why I'm saying that if it is possible, like Babangida did then, if it is possible, I think there should be limits. And if possible, if the government at this stage we are can bring a particular amount of money, and will try as much as possible to, even though I know that we cannot get it rightfully, but if we can still even get it to 40% and start building some culture of discouraging some political party hijack by those people that will go into politics and steal money to use that thing to hijack all the political structure we have on ground. So if the government can make it, fair playground, so that new people can come in, that maybe some of us can form a party knowing that government will be able to fund us to do that. The only criteria is that you give us ultimatum that, okay, we must win so number of seats before we can sustain that party. So that is how to play. That's what I see as a fair playing ground, not the one that that someone will come. So I think, it's my opinion, I think for us to move forward, I think government can fund all those political activities and stop all these people. Let us count it as part of the expense. That's the way. Let's count it as that sort of expense. Or if you don't want to do that, restrict the limit. Restrict the limit they can put, like the pricing of those nomination tickets. Restrict it. Don't let someone say, okay, presidential this 100 million just because you give a excuse that because there are too many people. No, let there be too many people.
I think I agree with that. They should legislate for that. In fact, but it shouldn't be more than 1,000 naira. But then they should put a lot of caveats on it so that it doesn't turn into a nonsense. So maybe they say you have to have like about 5,000 signatories before but they shouldn't be to pick up a form. You spend $1 million, 100 million is just a nonsense.
Exactly, like in a society where sanity reigns. Okay, let me use my city for example. You can't donate more than $5,000 as an individual to support political party. They caught a guy. The guy donated about 40 buses just to support that thing. Do you know that thing became a serious issue for donating that? Because already donating about 40 buses simply means that you've donated more than 5,000. I've not followed the case where it is because it was a case that came up around, I think, 2015 or thereabouts, because the case was in court when the guy was challenging the mayor of the city then, that because the mayor of the city accused the guy and called him like a godfather, and the guy was so angry that he approached the court and they told him right away that we know you that you spend more than 5,000, and as an individual you shouldn't be spending more than 5,000 to support a political party. You see, if we can have a way to do that too in our political structure, even if you like, go and spread your money across 1 million people to donate. If you can even put the maximum that an individual, whether you are Tinubu, you are Atiku, you can donate to support a party. So if you like donate that, let the thing come to the central attraction of that party. Now, when you now want to do whatever, if the party now say, okay, we want to give you the ticket based on your, good for you, but just make sure that you allow others too. But don't just use money to pay for hotel or those. I think all things like that should be discouraged.
All right.
As much as possible. That's just my opinion as an amateur anyway. So
all right. Thank you, Ola. So Ola, let's go on to rational. Let's actually go to Prof, who came in just before Rational Mind. So Prof, are you there?
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Professor.
How is it? Yes, I'm hearing you guys.
Look at that.
Let me go into where this my kids will not disturb me much. Okay.
Let them enjoy time with Daddy Jare. So let me take you to the east, Prof. And this news now. Of course, the rendition of Nnamdi Kanu. The whole case that Nnamdi Kanu is facing in Abuja. There's a whole series of incidents that build up to that. So it's not just. Sorry, do you want me to give you a moment?
No. Go on.
Yeah. So there's a whole series of incidents that's built up to that. So it's not just the marquee space of him contending against charges of treason and terrorism, but the whole build up to that. And one of the build ups to that was how this guy was renditioned from Kenya to Nigeria. So that in itself, if it is established that was what happened, that in itself is an illegal act. So you cannot then get justice off the back of an illegal act. So a lawsuit now challenging that space is taking place in Abia State. And it looks as though all the arguments has now been presented for a judgment to take place. So we're waiting in anticipation of what the decision will be in Abia State. And if the verdict is that Nnamdi Kanu was illegally renditioned, should that then be a case that they have to put him back as he was prior to that illegal act? So essentially return him back to Kenya. What are you making of this anticipated verdict from Abia?
One thing is clear. I know strongly. In short, let me first of all make this thing. We all know the aspect of this rendition. If it was, if Kanu was subjected to rendition or whatever, it is very clear. So to me, I'll be very surprised if he doesn't get victory on that matter. You understand? And if he gets victory on that matter, they should simply send him back to Kenya. And another thing there is that the federal government, if law goes as it ought to go, this man Kanu should be really compensated and consoled, because this man was really treated badly. He has been treated badly from that time till now, because I learned in the cell where he is, he's only they don't want him to change his clothes. What kind of?
Are they flogging him every day? Is this?
I don't know of the flogging. I don't know of the flogging. Do you understand? But at least the aspect of his cloth, I know of that one. The aspect of the solitary confinement, I'm aware of that. Though the aspect of solitary confinement goes in two ways. Maybe they can say they just want him to be aware of speaking to people. In a way, that is okay. In the other way, I would say it's not okay, because it's a kind of torture of his own self. I know, like in this part of the world, USA, I learned policemen, when they're involved in a case, that is what they normally subject them to. Because for their own
protection.
Not really, maybe for their own protection, but whatever protection or whatever, it is a punishment of itself. So let's see how it goes. But you know, the only thing I'm unhappy about the way the judiciary in this nation is, they're just I don't know if it's jungle justice is what they just practice there. You understand? They are very good in punishing people, adjourning matters, prolonging the person's stay in detention. That is what they're good at. But the thing there is, all that they're doing will never, ever put this country on a path of progress. Never. So I wish they can tell themselves the truth and stop all this nonsense.
All right. And to the space of who pays for the direct primaries, which seems to have now been instituted in law, the political parties are trying to push the bill to INEC, but INEC pushes the bill back across the table. So who foots that bill then for direct primaries in Nigerian politics?
Even though I don't know much about that, but if I'm to say anything, I would say it's INEC. I'll say it's INEC, but to me, even though it's INEC, it doesn't mean that there's no way the parties won't be involved. Because I know for a party to float, I believe there must be some kind of monetary payment or charges which they must be remitting to INEC. That is my own belief. I don't know how it's being structured in Nigeria or other places. So I feel strongly INEC have to foot that, foot the bill, much of it. And INEC, they should also do that, because if they want to answer that name, independent, I think Nigeria Independent National Electoral Commission, for them to show some level of independence, they should foot the bill.
Well, it's a heavy bill. That is the thing. Having to run direct primaries, that means having to then facilitate for almost 10, 20, even 100 times more what the parties traditionally facilitate for. Just to the example that I was using earlier. So if you had 100 in the party and you had 10 making the decision, you had 10 to facilitate for. But if the law now says the whole 100 has to make that decision, then you have to facilitate for that whole 100. So it's a humongous bill, and but who foots it? Because of course the parties will say they were happy to carry on as they were. You made the law, you pay the bill.
Yes, even at that, but it's now time for INEC to sit down and see how they can cut down these expenses, because most of the time in this part of the world, they tend to come out with outrageous, will I call it, bills or money tag to some events. Because even though some people may criticize what I'm saying, I heard how much they used to take MNK to jail. I mean, bring him out from jail and take him to
500 million.
I heard that. I said, come, is that man a project? And sure, no wonder why they're keeping him in that detention, because there's some people generating a lot of revenue from him.
Yes.
So that's it. That's not, the nation is now clear. They should see how they turn around that thing. This I know, yes, it's big, but I still believe if they sit down and do their calculation well, they'll be able to trim it down maybe by 40%.
All right. Okay, finally, Prof, I want you to respond to this headline: Harsh economy pushing Nigerian women to commercial sex. This is a human rights group that is coming out with this report. Harsh economy pushing Nigerian women to commercial sex. So what are you making of that? Does it ring true?
It rings truth. You understand? But I want to first of all define prostitution. Prostitution is simply an act in which there's sexual exchange for sexual.
Be mindful of the language, but know, it's not a simple definition, because it's a categorization. There's a build up to, if you use just that broad thing, then you almost say 90% of, especially
what I wanted to simply say is simple. It doesn't only involve money. It may involve marks, it may involve position, it may involve power exchange, power tussle, or whatever.
Is a housewife a prostitute?
A housewife?
Is she a prostitute?
To me, no. I won't say she's a prostitute.
Your definition will make her one.
I won't say it's one because even though my definition makes her, it makes her one, but I would put a little amendment. That aspect of exchange is only for someone that's legally married. I will exempt that person, because someone legally married, that exchange is meant to be, because we all know husband and wife is meant to they're meant to complement one another. You understand? So that's why I say I will, put some little amendment to the definition of prostitute I wanted to define, which I didn't define. So any married person, is not under that, because a married man would bring money to buy things in the house, and the woman in exchange has to complement that. So it's just like what in my language we say the right hand washes the left hand and left hand washes the right hand. That is how it is. But the truth of the matter, we all know what goes on in Nigeria. It's very sad. There's some ladies, they they just go on, their mark.
If we use the Western space, because I'm not one really. I don't subscribe to using the Western space to marry against a place like Nigeria. But in this instance, it does fit. If you take the Western space, the woman she's economically and legally liberated. The woman can earn as much as she's able to with her capacity. She's legally protected. She has all of the rights that a human being should have. So within the Western space, it is very rare that you see like a 50-year-old man dating a 23-year-old girl. You wouldn't see that. But in the Nigerian space, it's almost common practice that because that 23-year-old girl in the West, she has options. She has the option to education, to a good job, to a good life. She can buy her own house, buy her own car, do this and that. But those options are there in Nigeria. They are not legally not there, but they're not accessible within Nigeria and a third world environment. So essentially then the commodity of transaction for the female person almost defaults to their body. So this is it. It's the harsh economic.
That is true. That is true to an extent, because we all know Nigeria. In short, I will look at that aspect mainly in the context of Nigeria, how people have been brought up. Like the ladies, they know their role. In short, their role is much more, get married. The property of the man is her property. So sometimes they tend not to think in that direction to acquire properties.
Do you think a woman is a second-class citizen in Nigeria?
Yes, you can call her a second-class citizen, but in the outside world, it's not really like that. The woman due to the impact of liberation to their mindset, they go on out to almost compete with men, and that also makes them to be to look for more earnings. You understand? But as the Nigerian sector is, that aspect of women almost 90% being prostitutes. The truth of the matter is quite rising. I may not go with that 90%. To me, I feel it's lower than that. But I remember before coming back, I came across one of my somebody that was looking for a job, but he got a job in a hotel, and he told me what he told me that they told me that ladies, that's when he found out that women are nothing. Because in the hotel there, you're married women, they'll come there just for maybe a position, a slot in an office. They just settle it in the bedroom.
Business deal.
Yeah, so it's
Imagine
quite
that life, it's just, and it's not. You see, this is why I say, if in the West that rarely obtains, it does obtain, but it rarely obtains. So those are the harsh economic realities that report is speaking to.
Yeah, that's true. So it's just there's some level of truth in it, but to me, I don't think it's up to 90%. But if it's on an increase, it's really on an increase. It's really on an
Anyway,
increase.
the 90% was my own jara, but I just for
Okay.
the reasons of headlines. But let me
Okay.
swiftly take you on to a different space. BISI Akande, Buhari promised to pick Tinubu as running mate in 2015, but reneged. So Buhari, of course, the Northerners and their tequila, we know that you be the biggest fool on earth to trust a Fulani man at his word. And again,
Yes.
it repeats. So what are you making then of this stabbing in the back that Buhari did to Tinubu in 2015?
I don't know why that statement is coming up. Maybe it's coming up for people to show some kind of sympathy for Tinubu and say, okay, he lost it. He was meant to have it and be the president and VP now, but since he lost out, let's give him the slot. I think that's one of the reasons. It could be true. I don't know how true it is, but even if that was true, to me, I don't think Buhari should have picked. In short, it would have been I will call it a senseless idea. Why I say senseless is you'll be parading two old cargoes in the office. You understand? I don't know how old Osinbajo is, but I know strongly that I believe
Do you think
strongly.
that if Tinubu was the vice president, the country would have gone the way it went? With all
I
of
think
these
it will.
cabals running roughshod over governance.
No, I think that cabal aspect will still be there. I believe strongly it will still be there.
You
But
think
maybe,
if Tinubu was vice president, Abubakar Malami will be riding him the way he's riding Osinbajo?
no, no, I don't think so, because
not in a million years.
Tinubu would have more. He has he'll be on a platform to exercise and
He will
liberate
deal with him
himself.
swiftly. Some
Yeah,
Kebbi State boy,
yeah, he'll liberate himself now, because you know what the power. But the main thing, I think this Osinbajo he's just I think they gave him a seat and he's sticking by that seat. Because I think if Tinubu was given that slot and they tell him, okay, man, if you get into that position, do as we say. I don't think Tinubu would just agree with that. You understand? So that's it. It's just a pity that Osinbajo he's just a very passive VP. It's quite passive. Let me not totally
He's
go
a
to say.
passenger in this administration. It's just they just say, no, daddy told me to sit down here, so I'll sit down here. It's sort of
That's not what he decided, because I believe in one thing. Even if he was told to do so, it's left for you to see how you liberate yourself. I keep saying it in Gige. That's what happened to him when he was made governor. The Oba brothers, in short, I'm the very brother of this so-kind and the Oba, was the one that dealt with him, slapped him, he was just rough handling him. But with time, thank God, in short, Ngige should thank his wife. It's his wife that told him, come, this thing cannot be happening. This can't be happening. So it's left for Osinbajo did not think wise. He should have found a way to Great himself. But I think the statement concerning Tinubu, I simply see it as, a statement that's put forth to see how they can, the statement will favor to put him on the path to become the
Oh, you think
president.
this is a play for 2023?
Yes, I see it as a play.
Oh,
It's a
all right.
play now.
Thank you. Let me take you to this then. We will hand over to winner of free fair polls in 2023. So this is Buhari speaking now in a conference, a virtual conference organized by your President Biden. But then, would this then be a new phenomenon then, a free and fair election? So certainly what held him in situation in 2015, 2016 was the worst election that the country, that was just result writing, wasn't it? They just wrote
Of
results.
course.
So would it be a 360 turnaround then if we have something that is even akin to a free and fair election? And do you also think that this is the same saying to Tinubu, you are on your own?
Yes, one, Tinubu, you're on your own, but that aspect of getting that free fair election, the probability is very low, because why I say number one, this is a man that came in, he came in through fraudulent means, and the election that gave him the second chance, he ensured that it was fraudulent. This is a man that he has made some statements, he didn't stick to his word, and for nobody and for everybody. I don't think at this point in time he would voice out and say that the election will be free and fair. No, no, no. I don't think so. But if it comes to pass, I'll be very happy. But I don't think so. I just don't think so that would come to pass.
All right, thank you, Prof. Prof, let's go on to UK to sample his opinions.
Okay, okay, no
UK,
problem.
are you still there? All right, we don't have UK at the moment. Let's go then to Rational Mind. Hopefully he's there. Are you there, Rational Mind? Okay,
I'm
we
here.
don't
Go
have.
on.
Oh, all right, okay. So to you then, Rational Mind, that space that Prof just recently left. BISI Akande speaking to what happened in 2015 and how Tinubu was stabbed in the back. So what are you making of his account?
Well, I think he's trying to sell his book. That's how I see it. A little bit of reviews that were done by people. I've not read the book myself, but some of the reviews and all of that people made, I was just able to draw my own conclusion as to what the book perhaps is. I mean, with the snippet we've seen here and there of what he said in the book. So, I mean, if you say Tinubu was supposed to be the vice presidential candidate, running mate to Buhari, if we knew back then that this was what was going on, even though we knew back then that there was some kind of things going on, political horse trading, as the case may be. But then what I'm saying is, if we knew that Buhari reneged on his promise, or on his whatever he promised to Tinubu, because he had some pressures from some people, especially from the north, then that tells us that we are in for a trouble, because this is a man who doesn't keep to his word, because we felt that he's a man of his word, he's a man of integrity. But allowing other people to prevail over him, because although which makes sense to think that a Muslim ticket would not fly at that time because of the politics and then the situation Nigeria finds itself with the Boko Haram and everything, and people feel like no, and you're going to make two persons the two highest office in the nation, Muslim, and then people will start. I mean that would have worked in favor of Jonathan, no doubt, back then. Perhaps there's every likelihood. So, but then what I'm trying to say is, you see, I'm not taking everything that man says as facts and as truthful. I think he will write in his own, just like what we see here in America with this past president, Trump. A lot of people wrote books on him about him, and he coming out and debunking so many of those things, saying that he never did this, he never said this, he never did it was all lies. So, people will write from
but Trump is a very lost liar, though. Nobody takes.
We know he is. But then the thing is, some of them give some. There's so many conflicting writing about it, man. Let's not go into that. I just don't want to go into that. But I'm just saying that, Akande will write his own, and the way he's the way it's seeming to be writing at this point when 2023 is very close by, I think it's trying to market Tinubu, kind of. That's how I see it. Like, okay, Tinubu wanted to run. He has always had the intention of running, being the vice president. This guy did not fulfill his own parts of the bargain. And so he's a good man. Tinubu is not a bad man. He's a good man by allowing somebody else to take his place. He's not somebody who just bent in having power, wanting to have power by all means, those kind of things. I just think it's kind of like a way of, there's something, maybe there's other things in that book that we are yet to see, because I've not read it myself, like I said. But I just believe it's all part of the political game for 2023. But for me, I won't take that man serious much, even though I know he used to be a credible person that I used to.
Well, he couldn't have made it up because he involved so many people. So
one man. He's the one who wrote. I mean, whoever wrote the book in his behalf, or whoever maybe did it himself, or maybe somebody I had somebody.
Right. Yes.
But the thing is, he always say things according to his own perspective, how he sees it. It could be fact. Go on, please.
Well, no, but there has to be a grain, like you said. He could well embellish to tell a narrative, but it has to be predicated on some event that happened. He can't just make it up out of thin air.
Because what we were hearing that time was that he said the northern people were the people who prevailed over him, and I mean, this is a place whereby they will always jump at that idea of a Muslim, but suddenly telling us that they did not want it.
But not from opposition, surely, because from opposition they know that the country might recoil from that. So if it was from a sitting in government situation, they would go for it. But they know that it damages their chances if they put it forward in that manner. And what they wanted was that power. Yeah,
it will. Definitely it will. You see, what I'm just trying to say is, let me not just overflog this topic. What I'm just trying to say, in essence, is I will take his write-up with a pinch of, with a grain of salt. That's what I will say. So I don't really think there is anything to it much.
And his commentary on Adebanjo, Olufalaye, etc. as Onijekuje, are you taking that with a grain of salt?
If anybody's Onijekuje, he's number one. His son, Akande, is he not the chief of staff to Osinbajo? There's something Akande is the spokesman and acting as a spokesman as the chief of staff to the vice president. Is it not BISI Akande's son? What are we talking about? They all have their own kids there, put their own kids there in government. I mean, there are some of his kids there too that are also in government, that are maybe in some government parastatus. I mean, what is he talking about? I mean, Debanjo, I don't know much about his kids, but I think some of his kids I had there were also their lawyers too. I mean, you see, get to call him pot black. That's how I see it. So, I mean, you are guilty of the accusation you're accusing other people of. Even the person, like, I think I listened to Ajale Koko when he was arguing that point with you. I mean, which is the fact, when you were called back then, for national conference, sovereign conference, whatever it was back then, did you do it for free? I mean, so you see, people just he's on the bandwagon of an APC, and he's only fighting for APC, not fighting for you and I, because all the true and true, we've been having this issue in the Southwest or in the South entirely with this bandit and everything and killing going on. Has he ever come out? And it's not when they say they denounced the Yoruba nation, that they're not for the Yoruba nation. They want one Nigeria that works only for them and their kids, where their own kids can continue being in government and make money, when the ordinary man in the street cannot even afford to even send his own kids to a good school. How many of his own kids or grandkids are in public schools? So, I mean, these people, we just keep like talking about them like as if, I know it's just your headline here. I mean, like pointing finger at other people. I mean, I still respect Padebajo more than him. I used to respect BISI Akande, but from what I've seen in recent years with his kind of fellowshipping with we call it with the Lion of Bodilon. Giving me that, changed my view of that man. That this man is not just. I mean, in fact,
what is your gripe with Tinubu anyway? You seem to recoil every time you hear his name.
You see, I don't really hate that guy. The only thing
You
is,
do?
just I don't hate. No, listen, I don't hate people. Listen, I keep saying to you, I'm not the person who has hate in it.
No,
The
no,
only
I
thing
know, I know. Yeah.
the only thing I detest is when people have some kind of attitude and ways, and I won't hate you.
You
I
don't
hate
like
you as a person.
chancers. You don't like chancers.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
Tinubu is a
yeah. That
chancer.
is it. That is how he
Yeah.
is. I mean, he uses opportunity. I mean, he will ride on anybody. Doesn't care whether you die or live, or you live or die. I mean, he doesn't care. All he cares is just him getting the power. I mean, how would you want to ride on people's debt and people's, I mean, misery just to get to power, to ride to fame, or to ride to prominence? I mean, that is wrong. I mean, that is inhuman. It shows you the kind of person he is, that even when he gets there, if it's worse like this as it's just in Nigeria right now, the man will just turn deaf ear like the one that is there himself. He won't even care. As long as they preserve him, he is able to do his second time or first time and second time and finish up. That's all he cares about. These are the kind of people that we're going to see. If he gets there, the same idiot that is there right now, the same one, if this one gets there too, which is the person of Tinubu, because he doesn't care. It doesn't. All it cares is just politics. I have to do this, how to do that. It doesn't really care if it works for you and I, who are the common people in the street. And when he needs us, he will come and give us money to go and be hailing him, and then at the end of the day, you know. So for me, that's just what I hate about the guy. It's kind of politics. I don't hate him as a person, because I don't even know him as a person. But what I know is all I've seen.
All right, but like somebody
about
just said, that is all politicians. That is the definition of all politicians, according to Adeola. But thank you. Let me take you to the space of the direct primaries and who foots the bill for that. So I know it's a space that interests you. So it looks as though Nigeria is going for that direct primaries as a way of choosing flag bearers. But then that is a real spend to go down that route. But who foots the bill? The parties are trying to pass it to INEC, but INEC bats it back. So what are you making of the to and fro in that space?
First of all, has the president assented that bill?
I don't ask me, but I think he may well have, but I couldn't tell you categorically.
The last thing I heard was they said he rejected it. That's what I heard. Which I think Weekend, there was one interview that was going to Weekend, and he was saying that never would ever accept it. And then was it about yesterday or the day before yesterday? I heard about that the president rejected it.
I think he will wait for their convention to take place and then assent it after that for future elections. That's probably what they will do.
No. They sent it to him. The House sent it to him for assenting to sign it into law.
Yes.
But if he doesn't, before they go on recess, they can veto it. That's what I mean. I gathered from the whole narration about the narrative about this whole bill, that they can veto it, because I've listened to so many lawmakers on channels and other TV stations in Nigeria debating it, that they can veto it. They have the power to veto it, the two house. So the thing is, will they veto it? That's the question. So if they won't veto it, then I mean, which means they want the same thing to continue. They want the same, how do I call it? The same narrative of what we've been seeing played over the years, you know. But the primaries, I think it's the best thing, it's the best way to go, but very expensive, yes. INEC, because like they said, the president wrote INEC and so many other bodies within that also has a role to play in that, the new electoral, or whatever, I mean, electoral law, whatever they said they were trying to enact. They said they write to the different bodies just to have their input on, just to have their views on it. I think they said, INEC said, well, they are okay with it and they will support it. And I think they have the capacity to conduct any primaries. But some people were saying that did they really have that capacity, because they were complaining that they don't have enough funds and everything. So I think you guys were debating it here. Maybe there should be a way of tasking these political parties. If you want us to come be an arbiter, or to be people that would be as a referee in your whatever, you have to pay us for the service. I mean, that's another way they should generate that fund. They should generate money for that. If you want to do a primary, which is that should be the best way to go. Everybody should have a say from the grassroots, not just everybody in a scene, every ward will just vote one man to go become their delegates. But then if that's the way to go too, then that's fine. But what I'm just trying to say is, primaries is the best way to go. Everybody within each ward, each local government, whatever, they will go and vote for their own candidate. So it's going to be very, very, very difficult for one person to buy the whole of delegate from, because he knows he's going to spend a lot of money. And if he's going to spend a lot of money,
you see, this works just perfectly if it should be something they can do electronically. Well,
that's another way to go.
It speaks,
that's another way to go.
Just register and then you are logged into some system, and then it doesn't have to be a heavy weight for anybody to be traveling around the country.
See, one man, these things, everything in Nigeria, I mean, let me say everything, most things in Nigeria can be simplified, but they will never allow it because of this, they are fraudulent and these are ways of doing things. They will never allow it. That's the problem with our country. Like like when you suggested now, that's another way to go. But when you hear some people now, they'll start telling you, it will not work, and people can manipulate it. There will be no connection.
In fact, that's more foolproof. That's a lot safer, because even it removes that element of intimidation when the person knows that all he has to do is to cast his vote on his phone in some portal that is already registered, and nobody knows how he voted. So yeah, I think electronically is just
it's the way to go. So it's the thing is, for me, it's just that country has a lot of things to put in place. For me, like I just answered that question. I mean, this topic we're not teaching right now. I mean, primaries would be a better option, but is it easy? Not easy, because if you don't go through the route of that electronic voting that you talk about, if you want to do it in person, like we saw PDP did last time, it took them almost more than 24 hours to do their convention, and people were voting all through to the midnight to the early morning. It's going to take a long process for that. So,
and who do you think should who do you think should foot the bill?
It's the parties. The political parties should foot the bill. You're bringing in INEC to come and supervise, to come and be an election observer, just to see if this thing is transparent and was done. You should be able to pay them if they have to come and do that. Because if they don't have the manpower, for them to get the manpower, they need the money. And the federal government is not giving them that money, or it's not part of the money they budgeted for them for the fiscal year or for the fiscal period of time that we're going to have this election. Then the political parties should be ready to do that. I think that's another way of making the political parties to get ready. I mean, if you're not ready to be a political party, then you're not ready. So they will just weed out those people that are not really ready among the political parties. I think that's another way to go about it. For me, I will support that. If they say, okay, political parties, you'll be responsible for the payment of the INEC delegation that will be coming to supervise. So because INEC doesn't have the money, they don't have the budget for that. So if they don't have the budget for that, you should fund it. So I think that's how it should go for me.
Oh, all right, thank you.
Can I say something?
Go on, please.
To buttress what you said? Currently now, the last general election we have 98 parties. Can you imagine INEC assisting 98 parties? 98, so ridiculous number.
So it's very ridiculous, but then
very ridiculous. 98 parties.
Yeah. But you see, that's democracy for you, with Nigeria, which is the largest black democratic governance. That should not be something that we should say, okay, we should stifle. But then the thing is, there should be a way of weeding out parties that are not ready. I think this primaries could be one way. And another way is just like telling them, look, if you want us to come and do this for you, you have to pay. Other parties are paying. So you smaller political party, if you cannot do that, then we're sorry. We cannot officiate at your conventions or at your elections primaries. So you have to just figure out a way. And if you cannot do that, then you cannot participate in the main election, the major election, which is the presidential or Senate, whatever it is, because you did not do primaries in the first step. I think that's really a way. I'm not saying even if Showeres or other parties do not make it. I mean, I won't look at it as anything bad, because hey, we need to be able to weed out these people and remove whatever ridiculousness that is there. You get it? So because if you say I'm Showeres and then I go, everybody, hey, they vote for me. They did not conduct any party. They just say he's our man. What about other people that want to contest against him within that party? Why don't you give them the opportunity to contest against you? So that way, I mean, that's how I see it.
Showeres is not a Democrat. Showeres is a dictator.
How do you know he's a dictator?
Because of the way. What else? Is Showere a Democrat? He's not a Democrat.
Who told you what's?
Did you not see what he did at that come together that Madam Obi organized to pull all the new party together to form a coalition? They formed that coalition, and Fela Durotoye, or what is his name, he emerged as the person that they should all coalesce behind. And Showore immediately pulled out because, of course, if he doesn't get the front seat, then it's going to smash up the space. It's an ego-led person, you know that.
What? Woman, but you knew what, I don't know if you heard what happened. He has his own side of the story, too, of what happened. That
yes.
It was also...
If they had picked him, it would have been a different story, wouldn't it?
Well, I don't know. I don't have all the facts or all of that, but all I'm saying is that he said that it was just all a made-up kind of convention or whatever choice they made among themselves. It wasn't even ready. It wasn't even know that anything was going on. And I think there's a way he explained it back then, which makes sense from his own perspective. But if that was even Morgan, I think Morgan put out too. I think he put out from that convention. So
yeah, it was only after Showore had pulled out, but
but then Morgan has his own story too for that. So you can't be just fault him for that. You can't just fault only just Showore for that. But whether it was right or it was wrong, but I know he has ego. He has some ego too, like you said.
All right, thank you. Let me give you a moment to finish your meal, and then I'll go to Tony and come back to you.
Okay then.
So Tony, are you there? Sorry, there.
Everybody.
Hello, Tony. Good to have you. So
yes, hello,
Tony,
Ola. Sorry, I'm not Ola. Okay. Thomas, how are you, sir?
Fine, are you?
Yes. Okay.
All right. Thank you, Tony. So
yes.
to this narrative then of Buhari saying that BISI Akande rather saying that Buhari promised Tinubu the vice presidential slot in the build-up to the 2014 elections and then stabbed him in the back. So what are you then making of that treachery within the APC?
Yes, I think Ola have already touched on on that part. Exactly was speaking about my man. I know. I'm an award.
All right. What would you like to speak to? Yeah,
No. Look, I'm just coming to that point right now. That place. I'm coming to that place now. So, you know that, Ajani Koko also spoke very well there. I love, Ajani Koko's contribution there. But one thing is that these people will always use your money, and then at the end of the time, they will stab you at the back. She did not. They will stab you because they said that Tinubu uses money, to sponsor them. That has been the case, if you look at the history, So these people, they will use you, and then at the end of the day, they will teach you how to, how to do politics. There's no political game too much. This is not on us. So we're just underrating them. Like, these people, they don't go to school. They go to school, and then I'm quite sure that it's because of their misrace, because they are because the other Fulanis from Guinea, from Gambia, they're very good people, and then they are black, and then they are very nice. They don't bear Muhammad, all this Basha. They don't bear Arabic names. Those Muslims from Guinea, Senegal, Ivory Coast, all of them here, they bear Sise, they bear Kagbo, they bear Agadagudu like us, but they are Muslim. You know what I'm saying, sir? So, but these ones in Nigeria, they are more intelligent than us because of their mixed race, because they are mixed up with white race, the Arab race. That's why
they are more intelligent than us.
Oh yes, because
they have Arab blood in them.
Yes, that's a 1/4 blood or whatever.
So are you saying the Arab then is more intelligent than the black man?
Yeah, definitely. Remember this Arab Spring, because the black man.
Yeah, go on.
So the black man and the black woman is ready to go to heaven, but doesn't want to die. You see, black people want to go to heaven, but we don't want to die.
You think black people are docile?
Yes, it's just like I don't know how, what kind of animal. So the best thing to do is to bring Nnamdi Kanu out from the prison and let us.
Get there from, God.
No. Excuse me, sir. Get Nnamdi Kanu out from the prison and let him come and teach us how to run the things in this country. That's a big challenge to the government. If they say there's a government, bring Nnamdi Kanu out. Okay, you say Nigeria is a zoo, notice working.
Hold on, Tony. How
Yes,
is
sir. Yes, sir.
Nnamdi Kanu able to teach us how to run things? What has he ever run?
No, but his story, his teachings is very nice because I'm more glued to the Italian today because of as a result of it's Nnamdi Kanu factor that is running through my brain. You know what I'm saying? But but not all Igbos. But it's a complicated issue. Whenever we come to this Igbo space, but Nnamdi Kanu is a prophet of the Igbo people and one of the prophets of Nigeria.
How so? How is
because
it so?
all what you have been predicting, okay, all what is predicted are coming to pass.
Like what?
Like that the president is not is no more there because you cannot. If the president is there, then if the president is there, then he said that the president should come out and then speak fufudi with him.
Right. Which he did on Arise just the other day.
No, he should come and speak fufudi. Fufudi is a dialect. It's just like in Yoruba.
What would that mean?
Because just to prove that he's the real one. You know that because the Western countries, there's a vested interest.
So
as you always say,
Fufude will mean that Buhari
is
Buhari.
That is true. No, it's just to prove him to prove Nnamdi Kanu right. Because if Buhari is a very nice guy, Buhari is a good man. Your family voted for Buhari. My family voted for Buhari.
No.
Definitely.
How do you know my family voted for Buhari?
No, many people
sound like somebody who would vote for Buhari.
No. We were fed. Everybody were fed up because of the way things were going by our own man.
Not me. Goodluck Jonathan is the second best president in Nigeria for me after Obasanjo.
No, Obasanjo is the second best after Yakubu Gowon.
I don't know about that.
You have to know. You need to know that. You get to know. I think Alexander is there.
No, forget Alexander. You said it. Back it up.
Yes, because Ajakuta still all that. All the projects we are having today. That I mean, look at all the Liver brothers are living. AJC what? You know what I'm talking about? We're talking about. You are talking about
because you were just telling me now that Nnamdi Kanu was a prophet, and I'm saying how so.
So for example, I'm happy that I have one of my homeboy there, Thomas. I hear you mentioning about Molete and Challenge. Those areas were heavily industrialized. You know what I mean? So we can be all these windscreens, cash windscreens. You know what I'm saying? We do everything in Ibadan. And even
Tony, how is Nnamdi Kanu a prophet?
Nnamdi Kanu, what are you okay, he prophesied that the Fulani they are coming to take over, they are coming to kill you. That and it's true.
That
yes.
You did not know that. You did not know that before. You did not know that.
No, nobody knew. Nobody knew because like as I was saying,
Fulanis were savaging and ravaging.
No. That's what
I think they knew in Benue State, because they've known that for 30-40 years.
Yeah, but we were looking at it like a Benue thing.
About before Nnamdi Kanu was born, the Fulanis have been doing this. So why would people not know?
Yeah, so like I was saying, I want you to take this away with you tonight. Like that, the problem we have in Nigeria, I think, is something to do with this Hausa people that got married to all these white people from Egypt, from all these Arab countries. Because these Fulanis from Gambia, from Senegal, they are very nice people. My God, they are very nice people. I don't know why.
Have you met them before?
Oh yes, I deal with them here. They are very nice people. If you go to them, they will make tea for you, and this their green tea, and they are very friendly. If they are not there, you can even go there when their wife is alone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you can go there and
their wife. Is this what?
No. I mean, you can go there. They will tell you to come and take this peanut. No peanut soup. They can call you and say, okay, they are just like also. They are like Yoruba people. Or Benin people, or Yoruba people, Yoruba, the wider Yoruba people, that we always cook food, and they say, okay, come on, eat, now, Like if you go to look, when I was growing up as a boy, I can move from Jericho or from Nureke. Nureke is where sugarcane is located. So we are living in there it's just like a GRA. But I will move down to Molete or to Okeado to go look for where there's party. You can eat. You know what I'm saying? Mokola, everywhere. Yeah? But so the same thing with these Fulani people, from Gambia. They cook this peanut soup. Sorry, peanut soup. Sorry, I'm always mixing my something with soup is soup in German language. Soup. You know that I'm kind of a little bit hyper right now. So, but on the final conclusion is that Tinubu was used and now be dumped and now be stabbed at the back. That is what these Hausa people will do to you.
Tony, can I ask a question? One man,
yes, sir.
can I ask him a question?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, go on.
Hola, okay.
Tony, I agree to you, but I wonder, Arab are more intelligent than the black race.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. Okay. You see that they are committing hate work all over the world. If you go to, like in Egypt or in Syria or in whatever they are settled, you see the German or the British people, Australian people, they will go to that place for vacation and they will kill them. They will bomb their buses and but the white people will still tolerate them. And if you come to Germany took 3 million refugees from Syria in 2015.
So killing and causing some kind of disunity, creating tension across the world is what makes them more this thing. Okay, like for example,
no. Let me land.
People
hold on. Because they respect them. Hold on, sir. Hold on, sir. Sorry. Emma Duro, so, BT, please. You can be, let me, so you guys can be letting Jama right now. Like when we say BT, it's like, please. Okay, so, you see, these Arab people, you see, when they, that they cannot produce cars, but they can produce terror. So, as a result, the European countries, they fear them. So, they don't want to provoke them.
So, someone that is creating terror is more smarter than those people that are not creating terror.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you very much. Because the world, you see, this power.
I think I understand broadly what you're saying, Tony. What you're saying essentially is that the Arabs traditionally they have a benchmark of tolerance that they would not allow anybody to lower them beyond. And
thank you very much. They always be proud.
But the black race, they will endure anything, and people will continue to march them down.
My battery is.
So I think broadly that's what you mean.
Yes, exactly, sir. Because like black men, they will just pick some people that bring me back. What Nnamdi Kanu have been saying that they will come and pick some members of your community and enrich them, give them money. Those one will not be committing their atrocities on their behalf. You see, but for the Arab race, the Arab people, if an Arab man is living on the street, he will help the other Arabs. You know what I'm saying? No envious.
That doesn't mean they are more intelligent.
No, hold on. Unity, hold on. They say unity is strength. Ola, that this one Nigeria discussion, even I would have suggested that, or I beg one man to change the style of presentation. The presentation should be about how we can unite Igbos and Yoruba together. You know what I'm saying? So that we can be able to see, not to be discussing about.
What makes you think they want to unite?
No, we have to encourage them. We need to encourage them because to fight these people alone,
them against their will.
Yeah, that's the problem. But for me, see, I don't know because all the discussion, I know the pace, that you are feeling. I know the passion also. You're so passionate about Nigeria, about a black race, but see that black man cannot move ahead without that. I don't know because they will not look when you guys were living in England. You see that these Indian people, when they have a business, they work together. In Australia, Thomas, I saw a lot of documentation how the Indians they will bring, no matter where they come from in India, they work together and they are taking over the whole place. In Australia too.
You know what you are talking about, Tony. What you are talking about is common purpose.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Exactly.
The Arabs, they always have a common purpose, like you
said.
Sir. They will gravitate to each other and they will fight for that.
No matter where they came from.
Yeah. But and the Indians, like you said, they will gravitate to each other and defend.
The same thing, sir. Yes, sir.
But the black person,
the black person is always on his own.
Black person in the back.
Yes. They always. If you see the black people here, you know what I'm saying. In Europe, they will say that nothing. So that they sabi for home. Not like the way we are feeling pains. I'm feeling the pain, and then I'm even wondering how you are surviving because even for me to listen to you 4 hours every day, like that, I'm feeling kind of weak like that in the night. But I'm wondering how would this guy be able to, I mean, to do this. I think you are a God sent. You are a God sent. You are trying your best, and then we hope that
don't worry about that.
we just hope that it's not going to be in vain. It's not going to be in vain. So we need to unite that the Igbos and Yoruba. But who can unite them? Is this the Edo people? But there's a bad thing happening right now in Wari. Have you heard that the Shekiris, Urobo, and the Ijo, they are already killing themselves again since about 4 days ago.
You people are always having community clashes now. This
very
is
bad. That's what I'm saying. That black people, we don't know where we are going.
Community
Yes.
clash all the time. Is that hot blood? Is that hot blood? Is that wafi behavior? That hot blood.
They say we know they carry last, but now we carry last.
Look at that.
And the woman. You know that all things being equal, there are little things that matters. I want you guys to pick up this tonight. Like, when a whole country is talking about Arsenal Football Club, Tottenham, Manchester, Bayern Munich, and then all this Barcelona, that means the country is dead. The black race is dead. We're no longer talking about ICC, Shooting Stars of Ibadan, or we're not talking about a better insurance of Benin. You know what I'm saying? We're not talking about Enugu Rangers. So these are very bad. So the country is.
Okay, Tony, you say things are very bad. So I want you to react to this headline: harsh economy pushing Nigerian women to commercial sex. So that's what they're saying. They're saying the women now, they are having to commercialize their bodies just because of the harsh realities of the Nigerian space. So what are you making then of that headline?
It's a very known fact, it's a known fact. It's very, very painful because I even shed tears when I went to Nigerian embassy in 2018, So when I saw our guests, and then this was so bad in the country. Like I don't know, I think one of the guys, this simply goes back to the basics. The basics. You see, the system has collapsed, and the Nigerian situation is beyond repair. So all we have to do now is to reset, and the resetting would be to carve the country into two-state solution. First of all, if the Igbos and Yorubas can work together, you know what I'm saying, so that they will be able to restart. Because these are the factors that I listened to the lamentations also from Thomas when he was almost.
Who do you think is better positioned to work together? The Igbos and the Yorubas, or the Yorubas and the Hausas? Who do you think naturally blend better?
Okay.
The Igbos and the Yorubas, or the Yorubas and the Hausas? Which one is the more natural blend?
Okay, naturally blend is the Yorubas and the Igbos. Naturally blend because of, like I said, we all share the same common. We have a mutual African culture.
Do you think the way the Yorubas see life is more similar to the way the Hausas see life, or the way the Igbos see life?
No, the Igbos and the Igbos and the Hausa presently, because you asked me which way to go. Which one, which way is the best? But I said that it was Yoruba stroke Igbo. So, but presently, in the present status quo, is that the Igbos and Hausa are better friends than Igbos to us. That is the problem we're having, because if you see the Igbo, even the Igbo people on this platform, you see sometimes they say that you see that I was hearing my sister Bia we say that I like Jaffa. That night I don't feel sleep. I say
I like Jaffa too. Everybody likes Jaffa.
No, you don't have to like Jaffa because but that's a devil. Somebody that is on the platform.
No.
Hold on. Not devil in that form. Not devil in that form. It's coming to defend. Hold on. Okay, it's coming to defend the devil. Then,
hold on. Let's say, for instance, this was some northern platform, and they go shouting Yoruba evil all the time, and I go there. What do you think I would do? Jaffa is well within rights to defend himself and his people. It's just a natural instinct, isn't it?
Yeah, that natural instinct, but when you want to be honest, or if you want it to work for the overall interest of the whole, for the masses, all and sundry, then we need to be straightforward. Like Sanusi, Lamido Sanusi, was a nice guy before, but because if you look at it, all the sisters' children, daughters, and the brothers' daughters, they are on YouTube. They don't wear this their headscarf. You know what I'm saying? So and then I saw them sometimes
Oh
when
yeah, you
they
mean that girl? You mean that girl that does YouTube?
that ugly one, that ugly one,
No, she's
that
quite
ugly one.
pretty, I think. Yeah.
No, there are many of them. So, but let me tell you one thing. You see, one thing, another problem I'm having right now is that, like I said, we are not talking about Enugu Rangers. Okay, Enugu Rangers. Okay, Enugu Rangers. Make a talking bone. Okay, make them not say. Then, but our guests are bleaching off their skins. This is a big problem also. You know what I'm saying? So if you
Our
come to
girls are
Europe,
doing what?
our guests, our Bini and Yoruba guests, now Igbo also now they are taking over. So they are bleaching themselves. That I even hate black guests now.
No. The Igbos don't have to bleach. They are naturally light skinned.
No, not all. Not all. Just like if you go to Yoruba also, if you go to Edo State also, we have a lot of yellow people. My uncle is yellow. My younger sister is yellow. Even my daughter here now. My daughter, you have to be very careful so that because
but
it's
your
too
daughter
light.
is your daughter not mixed race? Is she not
Yeah, that's
half
what I'm saying.
Igbo?
Yeah, it means
Yes,
other, but
okay.
but it's too white. But it's too white to my most of the time. Say, please, I hope that when she grow up, she will be blacker. So, but when I see black people, because when I see black
When
guys,
you go and marry an Oyibo and you want to have a black daughter, how is that possible, Tony? Look at this
no,
man.
I also, so
The black gene is strong now.
Yeah, but you at best a darker hue of mixed race, but you're not going to have a black. He's not going to be black like me,
No, it's
You
going to
always
black. No, it's going to black
look.
like me, like you. She's black. She's going to be black, bit by bit. But the one I had with an Arab woman, the one
Tony,
a boy,
only
yeah, I just had a boy
Look
now.
at that. United Nations of Tony. Look at
But
that.
the white,
Are you
but
United
the hair
Nations?
itself, the hair don't look like our hair at all. The other one, that one I
No,
go
they
have with
always
Arab.
have curly hair, don't they?
Yeah, but the one with Arab is just like white person. So that's why I'm very, I want a black girl, black, charcoal. Now I want. Not be saying.
Go to Sudan now. I'm sure. Do you know how Sudanese? Go and look for a Sudanese girl. They're always dark.
So like I was saying, my brother, so that these are the things that the basic thing we need to look at. These are the little things that matters. And then I cannot just imagine that I'm playing as a teenager. I'm playing from Eleyele to Yagokun. Yagokun, you know Yagokun? Yagokun is on the way to Abekuta. Okay, from Ibadan. Okay, you can take through the forestry, or you can take through Dubai and cross the railway crossing. But me, I dey enter the bush from Eleyele. After I go to Eleyele waterside, take some fish or do anything like crabs, and then we enter bush. We'll be playing from Eleyele right to Yagokun to the timber forest. Nobody will attack us. But today, Hausa will come and kill us. You know what I'm saying? So we cannot be the same country. So that is why.
And also, because we have a hunting culture in Yoruba land, all these people that go into the forest to go and kill antelopes and
yes, sir, or catapult,
So imagine now those hunters, those hunters now, they can't. These people have changed. They've changed their way of life.
Yes, thank you very much, sir. So like with catapult also, I know catapult now. We also use catapult now for play, and then we'll be enter the bush. Like if you enter from Eleyele to, I know the whole bush there. From there to right to Yagokun. You know Yagokun? You know Yagokun? It's okay. You are in Ibadan. So if you take Dubai, and then you are going to Ring Road, Ring Road, then you go straight instead of taking left to Molete or to Ring Road.
I only know Felele where we have a family house. That's the only.
Okay.
Felele layout.
You know, Ajabota you be now.
No, I know Felele now. Do you know Felele? Do you know Ayeye?
Yeah, I know now, but I mean that. But don't say that.
Those are my yards now. Yeah.
Yeah. But you know that if you want to really, if you want to know Ibadan where you want to all those bush, those bush we play in the bush. like Molete to this Cocoa Research Institute, you know, where we can be able to go there every Sunday. The family will take you there. Family will take us there. They buy out ice cream.
To
You
go and
know what I'm
play, to
saying?
go and play in the bush. What are you
Yes.
talking about? I'm sure they
Yeah,
did
but
not.
we are bush people now. We love it. And then
No, you are
I
not.
went out
You are
from
not.
Eleyele through the
You are a
power line.
German now.
No,
Versus
I'm not a
Deutsch.
German. No.
Versus Deutsch.
You guys are just
The
raising my
speaking
own
Deutsch. Versus
spirit today
Deutsch.
because
Yeah.
look, you raised my spirit today because today I just got a letter because I missed one appointment. I have to pay 153 euro. Otherwise, 2 days. You know, Germany. You know, we need to live here. You know, we don't want to live here. We want to go back to our country like yesterday because the letters that is coming. Do you have any friend living in Germany? And then you're having a business. It's like a dead trap. Okay, you will pay through the nose.
Who is in Germany in terms of the ethnic nationalities in from Nigeria? So who are in Germany? Is it because when I think of Germans, I always think essentially the Easterners because I've always thought that it's the Igbo people that go to Germany because that German lifestyle it fits with their own approach to life. So who is in Germany amongst Nigerians?
Okay, no, yeah, Germany here we have before it was this Bende people, this Bini Urobos,
They were the majority.
And the majority. So, but later, those Igbos in Bini, you know that Bini is now be over half of Bini belong to Igbo. If you don't know now, you get to know. You know, they say Benin City now is very big. You know, last time you were talking about Lagos versus Ibadan. You know,
You're not
Ibadan is
even
the biggest.
answering my question. Who is in Germany?
No, I'm asking you. I'm asking you. But yeah, but right now, they are they compete. They compete. We have Yorubas. We have Benin.
Okay, put percentages. Out of 100%, give percentages to the ethnic nationalities of Nigerians resident in
Yeah, anyway,
Germany.
to be fair, the Igbos are more really.
In what percentage? What percentage?
Maybe 70 to 30.
Okay, and the Yorubas?
Yorubas and the Benin, they are not so much. They are not so much here.
Okay.
Not so much here.
All right, thank you, Tony. So,
and then just to add to that, sorry, sir, because that may answer your coming question. You know, because like Austria is a neighboring country. You know, Austria is where they price your oil, the oil that you produce in Nigeria. You know that already,
I didn't know that. No.
That's where the price. That's Vienna, Austria. You know, that's where they price your oil. That's where everything is so bad that what you produce, the German, this European will fix the price, and then what they produce, then the European will fix the price. You see that we have no way. So we have no way forward, and we are helping them to do that. You know. So now, but to the discipline of these white people, they always plan ahead. They plan 1,000 years ahead. So they plan not for themselves, not for their family, but they plan for the people that will live, that will dwell in their country in 2,000 years to come. You know, that is what that bring us back. But that is where we need to be copying them, not just copying them by.
Tony, what you just said now, it adds to what you said previously because yes, I too was aware when the Germans were looking to repopulate their country with Austrians, and I know when they're talking about 2-3 million Austrians. So you know the German population, the native indigenous German population is dying out because their birth rate is low and they are carrying a heavy weight of elderly and senior people, pensioners.
Thank you very much. It's like you are here.
There's no space between those two. So the younger generation, they're only having one child, if that, and the older
they don't even have at all. They don't have at all. They don't care.
Yes,
they say they don't want child.
Yes, so there's a population. So to fit in that slot, they've just gone and imported all these ready-made Arabs,
Yugoslavia, and Arab here, and then Arab is going to share their pepper because the Arabs, because the Arabs that I know now, the Arabs that I know,
they are just savaging them. All those
they are making children. They are making children, and then they buy big SUVs, and then they will come to me and say, Tony, I say you have a car. He said yes. And when they go to their driving license, they don't say that once you are more than a year. But like in my own case, like our case is if you want to get the driver license in Germany, if you have another license from another country.
The Canadians are doing the same thing, but with Nigerians, it looks as though the Canadians are trying to repopulate or populate their country with Nigerians.
Yes, it's towards funding their pension system. That's what we're talking about. That's what we're just talking about the Germans, because
not just the Nigerians, they also use Indians and Pakistanis.
Yes.
No, they
Yes.
traditionally have, but in terms of, because there was a time that the Germans, they just opened, and about 3-4 million just came in suddenly from Syria.
Yes.
Young
But then,
people.
let me say this real quick. The
Yeah.
Turkish, people from Turkey, they are the largest immigrants, from what I understand, in Germany.
Yeah, they
They have
traditionally
gone back. They have gone back. They have gone back. They have gone back because that's what Mama start to say. Because as a result of that, this
But funnily
relocation,
enough, the Germans, they hate those
they
Turks.
they don't like the Arab either, but just that they want to use them like Hausa is using Tinubu now, and to dump them. Because but meanwhile, it's going to backfire because these Arab children, they all Hausa people and the Arab, they are the same. So they marry their cousins. Why do you want to be the same country with Hausa
Then
then?
just be mindful of what you say. You can't say things like that. That's a sweeping statement, Tony.
No, I'm not abusing them. I'm just saying that about
Yeah,
cultural
but you
clash.
are stereotyping them somewhat.
No. Go and watch. This Chukwemeka Mohammed from Nollywood. Chukwemeka Mohammed. You will see. So everything is not it's in the open. So, but excuse me, sir. Last time I couldn't contribute, but I was just listening to you. I listen to you every day because I love your voice and then your intro and outros. You know what I'm saying? It's very. I just need that to to steam him up every day.
To settle you down. That's what you use to calm down, Abi. Yeah?
So then no, I just
you're using me the way Buhari used Tinubu. Look at this guy.
And don't and then it's going to stab him at the back. So the same thing, these people. But one thing I want to tell you is that Germany is going to be taken over by the Arab in the near future because the rate at which they are bringing children to war is too much. You know what I'm saying? They born every year. It's every year. I don't know what they eat. I wonder what all these Nigerian all these people are going for doctor for.
You know these people. They those are multiple births that you have from these people, because we had it in this country with the Somalians as well. They use it for the social benefits of it, because then they'll give them a bigger house. They'll get,
They get 2,000, 3,000 every month without, and then the women will not be forced to go and work like the way they treat the black women here. Black women here in Germany, they always tell them to go and work. If you don't work, they don't pay your money. So, but the people, but like the Igbo boys here, you have some Igbo people that were here before that are doctors, very good. Okay, they are very good. Like the best doctor, the gynecologist or whatever, is Dr. Ojike, the best in Germany. But it's old now. It's very old now. So there's other Odua,
The Igbos, they always excel wherever they are because they are.
Yes, but
they are one of the smartest people on the planet.
Yeah, only that 90% of the Igbos in Germany did not go to school. You know that most of them were born in the marketplaces in Alaba before they come here.
You have to understand. It's always the next generation that does well, because people who go through these travels of having to relocate to abroad, then they have to contend with climate, language, accommodation, prejudice, etc. They have to contend with all of that. But their children who are already in that system, they have a better chance of excelling.
Yeah, but the German doesn't give chance to black people at all. Only the Syria, they are giving them chance.
Well, the ones born there, I'm sure they will get a better chance. If you
they don't have a better chance. My child, I have to go to Berlin. No, I have to go to court. Their school system is very bad here. You have to go to court before you can be able to bring a child to school when it's not yet 6 years old. So, but
you're saying their school system is bad in Germany?
Yeah, the worst in the world.
No,
because
hold
on. Rational mind. I used to like it because you're always very rational. So I'm living here. I had a daughter, and then I have
listening to him very differently from the rest of us. When the rational mind become rational, what's this?
No, you always try to weigh issues. I always see the presentation most of the time. Sometimes I'll be angry. I say, why is this? Then later I will say, okay. Like Ola also, but I'm happy that Ola is not coming back home. Thank you, sir. Ola Ekabo. So you have to come back to that, this Odua or South Nigeria solution.
On the issue of the school.
So why did you say this? German schools are the worst? Yeah.
Okay, the German school is that Germany they don't encourage school at all, because to start primary school here, the child has to be 6 years. But this government of Angela Merkel that just left now was trying to make the change to become 3 years so that they can be able to send the child to kindergarten. But she couldn't make it. They have to use that welfare money to hold the women at the throat. Okay, you see. So
I understand what you mean. Before the government starts to sponsor the education is from the age of 6. Okay.
Yes, and then so like me, I was prepared to. I found a primary school that was to be taking me to $2,000. Sorry, 2,000 euros every month, but they cut the welfare office, the Yugitam. What did they call Yugitam? The women that take after. They say no. But today, the children are being forced to go to school because their mother needs this money for the government to drink and smoke cigarette.
So do you guys have what's it called? Child support? Like if you give a woman
Once you just have a child, whether you are ill or not ill, even when you are a German, like most Igbo people now, they are living here, they don't have a job.
Because I know one Edo girl that actually left the UK to go and have a child in Germany because
to make money. Yeah, many Edo, Yoruba and Edo, are the same thing. And then Igbos are joining them also now, but Ghana. If you come to here, people from Italy, they are rushing over here just for the welfare money, and then they are lot of problem, and then the children have
the opportunities too. We actually hold on, Tony, because we have one of those people that just made that journey that you described. We have Dan Juma. Dan Juma, you left Italy to move to Germany, did you not? Dan, good to see you. Are you there, Dan? Dan, I can see you now. You're at work, Abby. Okay, this is Dan. If you're okay, all right. Carry on, Tony.
One man.
So
one man.
Hold on. Let's hear from UK. We've been trying to hear from you all day, UK.
Okay.
So what's the talking point?
Look at this guy. When we were just about to finish, we were with Tony. So let Tony carry on. Yeah.
So those guys that are living. So they will leave Italy, which is like a home away from home. Italy, God bless them. God bless Italy. God bless them. So
hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. Danjuma. So hold on now, Tony. So Danjuma, Tony was just saying about people who moved from Italy to come to Germany to come and take advantage of the system.
To suffer.
Hold on, Tony.
Exactly.
Danjuma, you left Italy to go to Germany, did you not?
Yes, of course, that is true.
Yeah.
So, but I only have 2 minutes because I wanted to go back to work now because I'm working at Amazon.
Okay.
Okay. So the thing is that what this guy is saying is true. At least there is element of truth for everything that he's saying. But the only thing that I see that is not really clear there is that normally Jama don't encourage because there is like a practical school that they believe on. Most of their children, they don't go to university. They always go for us be done. Maybe like a practical school. Then like 3 years, then you will go. You understand? This is what they believe on. They don't. So much people they don't go to university. They normally go.
They don't go to high school. High school. Yeah. Thank you.
No, they don't go. But they always go for us be done. This is what they. That's why they.
They run some apprenticeship, don't they?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, practical. Like Nigeria, they call it practical. Like you go to technical school. Those kind of things. You just need to learn some hand working, then you will start working. After 3 years, you start working.
Danjuma, sorry, sir, my brother. Listen, please. You know that Nigeria is better because Nigeria own. You still go to school to technical college, but Germany don't have technical colleges. They have all this.
No.
Hold on. Hold on, sir. Sorry, sir. Let me just correct you.
No problem.
They have all this. They just send it to school, but tomorrow they go to another school. Next week they will send it to other school. Then after they will bring them back to the hairdressing salon, motor mechanic workshops, and so these guys they don't know anything like book. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but there's something you said. There's something that you said. Yeah, there is something that he said that make me come online because I was watching you when I go to break, so I just come online. From the Turkey. Turkey is the highest immigrant in Germany to date. Because you know why? Turkey know how to invest in Germany. Most of the most company in Germany, Turkey are the owner of them. So that's
telecom, everything. Thank you. Thank you.
Most of
Telecom,
even
everything.
the gambling, when you want to play like all those typical betters, all those things, they are, like when you want to play game, all those kind of shops, small shop, they are the one holding everything there. So the Turkey they have so much money, even more than the German cities. Most of the German cities, they don't open business. They only believe work. Maybe at the end of it, you go to Holland holiday. So this is what they believe on. And for you to say Arab or Africa will dominate Germany in future, because you know why? Like in Munich, I don't know the city you are. In fact, the children that only Nigeria gave birth in Munich here, if I'm not mistaken, it's more than 5,000 to 10,000. You understand? Hello?
You guys are just you are just more ballet over there. It's just I know you guys now. This is what you do. But Danjuma, just since we have you, I was asking Tony then just the demography of Nigerians in Germany. Who would you say constitutes the majority? Who comes second and who comes third in terms of the ethnic groups from Nigeria and Germany? Dan.
He said 2 minutes now. Maybe it's
Oh
back to
no,
work.
no, yes, because it was. I think it's just taking a moment from work. So thank you, Danjuma. Okay, so I'll seek to start rounding off here because I think we've covered pretty much all the talking points. So I'll do the round tripping to land on you, rational mind. So we'll go to Prof first, and then we take it from there. So Prof, we're seeking to round off now, Prof.
Hello?
Oh, okay, let's go to Danjuma and then
Hello?
land. Yes, sorry, Prof. Let's hear
Hello?
from Danjuma some more because he's just as stealing a
Okay.
moment from work. So Danjuma,
Okay.
back to you. Are you there, Dan?
Yeah, but Nigeria, there is a Nigeria population. I can't lie to you. I think Nigeria has so much population right now. Even on the 24th, they wanted to deport some Nigeria.
Yes. Who is the majority in terms of the ethnic groups? Who is the second and who is the third? All right. I don't think we'll because Danjuma is doing two things at once. So thank you, Dan. So hopefully when you rejoin us,
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I
Yeah,
can
I'm
hear
with
you.
you.
But
Can you hear me?
did you hear the question?
Oh my.
No. All right, Danjuma. I think we'll leave it there because I understand that you're trying to strike a balance. But thank you, Danjuma. So, Danjuma, we're going to seek
In
to
Germany
start.
right now, Nigeria, I think after Turkey, I think Syria, after Syria, Nigeria.
No. Oh no. That wasn't the question. But thank you, Danjuma. I'm
After
going to let you go. Not
Turkey.
just because we can't have a conversation with you trying to balance. And I think your priority, of course, should be your work. So thank you, Danjuma. We're seeking to start to close off now. So I'm going to let you go. But thank you, Dan. Always a delight. I'll DM you on Instagram. So, Prof, now just closing remarks.
Okay. My closing remarks is simple. I will let me base it on the aspect of the poverty level and also the area of politics. I would tell of my fellow Nigerians, yes, I'm not there, but they should realize it pays to stand by the truth. I hope they will rise up to the occasion concerning this upcoming election, even though I don't believe it's going to come to pass, but they should vote with conscience. They shouldn't allow people buy them over. It's true that nobody is perfect, but at the same time, they shouldn't allow people buy them over. They should recognize the truth that this APC government has failed us. It's true that PDP are almost alike like them, but as far as I'm concerned, I won't like that APC party or seat of presidency to continue. No. But apart from that, they should make sure whoever they're voting for is somebody that won't just buy their votes over. Concerning the ladies, it's high time they should realize that everything is not money, everything is not power, everything is not will I call it preference. Most of them, they give out their body in exchange for something that, without knowing, something like power or whatever, that one day perish. They should realize that whatever they're doing, their daughters are looking at them. That is a reason why there's a bad trend in the society, because these things have gone on and it's continuing. They should do their best to see that this ends the propagation of this profane practice. These are my last words for you.
Oh, all right, thank you, Prof. Always a delight. Always articulate, Professor Data O. So from Prof, we go on to Thomas. Thomas, your words. Okay, we don't appear to have Thomas. So, hold on. I didn't take him out, did I? No, let's see. No, I did not take him out. Okay, so from Thomas, then we go on to Tony. Tony, your words.
Yes, sir. So thanks a lot, man. So I just want to tell Professor Data or what is his name, that the guests are not to be blamed. You know, they have to survive. Our country is dead and beyond repair. So we have to form Igbo, Yoruba, South Nigeria. Okay? South Nigeria. Let us encourage that. There's nothing like election. This election is going to be, that's not election. Who's going to be everything there? So please, Data our guests are suffering because they have nothing to survive on. They need to survive. I support them. They can do prostitute, they can do anything. I support them. So that's it, my brothers and sisters.
All right, thank you, Tony. Always a delight to hear from you. So from Tony, we go on to Ola, your words.
Yeah, thank you everyone for giving us audience, and I believe that we've been able to learn one thing or the other. And the most important thing when we learn all these things is to start acting on how to change the situation, on how to apply our knowledge to make the country better. To me, I believe we have everything that we need to make Nigeria great, even though it may not be Nigeria. Let's just say the nationalities that form Nigeria, because tomorrow we may not be together, but yet it still doesn't change our situation that we are all Africans. So I will encourage us to act in good faith to promote the country. And the only thing I disagree with this evening is I think we are intelligent people. I think no other race is more intelligent than us. And I think the way we use our intelligence is what is different. So to me, let us be a good ambassador of our race. Let us act for the betterment of our race. That's all I have to say today. Thank you, everyone. See you later.
All right. Thank you, Ola. Always a delight. So the final word then to the rational mind that Tony insists is always rational. So rational words from the rational mind.
Thank you, one man. Thank you also to our friends and everybody who were on the studio today. And those behind the scene who were chatting and all of that. And we thank you all. And we would urge you again, for those of you who are yet to subscribe, to please click on the subscribe button. And for those of us who are regulars here, always please like the button. Click on the like button as it propels the algorithm. So that way it's you always get notification whenever one man goes on live. Having said that, yes, we've been deliberating on so many issues on one man's platform. One of such is what we're talking about, our ladies. I understand the world is becoming, how should we say it, more and more complex, and our ladies going into this whole profession, it's for me, it's something that everybody has to make their own personal choice, but that one should encourage it. No, I don't support we encouraging it, because it's one of those things that leads to a collapse of a civilization. Because if one woman has multiple partners, we know what that can result to. We've seen it in the numbers of STIs and all of that. And even the life of that woman would never be the same. It's very, very difficult for such women to pay a bond, meaning it's very, very difficult for them to eventually stay with one man. For those of us who understand that, might understand. So I wouldn't encourage that, because it's a lot of things will come out from it. So prostitution should not be encouraged in any way. We understand what led some of them into it, but please, our ladies, our sisters, would please beg you to, if you make your money, just get out of the trade, get out quick. And if you any way you can just get out right now, I advise you do that. Having said that, on the politics in Nigeria, we're seeing the whole thing playing out. I see Buhari going to Lagos and attending the book launch. I think it's all just political moves for 2023. But for the thing, for that book launch, one thing I could take away from it is this, that these people don't care about us. It's all about them, about their own ego, their own wealth, perpetuating themselves in the politics for their own family. The Akande that we were talking about, I'm sure the Akande that works for the vice president is his son, from what I gathered. This is people who's just about themselves and their kids. I mean, Tinubu has his own son there working in Lagos state government. I mean, what are we talking about? And we all of us here are here talking, and then we can't even get even penetrate the civil service. Some of us, we've been looking to get into the civil service for many years. In Nigeria, we could not. I mean, if you don't know anybody. So is this kind of life we want to choose for ourselves? So I think it's a choice for every Nigerian going to 2022 next year to decide if they want to be part of that 2023 election. For me, if I were asked that question, I prefer that they start talking about restructuring or disintegrating that country, breaking that country into two or into three pieces, or as the case may be. For us, 2023 is all about these people again. They're going to put themselves there. We're going to see the same scenario again playing out because the insecurity in the north, we need a neutral person. None of these political people can do it. We need the new people, new set of people who have not been part of this political process with this year game, so that they can come in and flush out these people and bring in new hands. The Nigerian military is corrupt. Every aspect of Nigerian security apparatus is corrupt. And if anything is not done about it, anybody that gets there, he or she would grapple with the same issue that these people have been grappling with. I mean, Goodluck Jonathan tried his best as far as he knows how to handle the matter, but he failed. So that's why I tell you that the whole thing is rotten. A lot of things has to be done. So we need new hands, and it's now, you see that we restructure that country and we come to a table and restructure the whole thing, everything restructured, or we continue with the same process. So if in conclusion, again, I would just beg our sisters to quit that trade. It's not a trade that anybody wants to do. It's not right. It's a lot of things, like I said. It's so that's all I have to say for now. And then I want to say good night to everybody and thank you and see you soon again.
All right. Thank you, the rational mind. Always rational. So that's rational mind rounding things up for us, and that has been the session. It's more like it how it should be, just over 3 hours, because there's no conversation that should take place for longer than that. Been an enjoyable session. I hope you've enjoyed it just as much as I did. So if you did, then please make sure you're subscribed, as you have been encouraged by Ola and Rational Mind. Click on the like button as well for reasons of the YouTube algorithm. That is what attracts people to the space so that they can be part of what we do here. So do all of those nice things and set your time for tomorrow, where we shall reconvene and do it all again. So till then, we carry the conversation on in the comment section. So I leave it here. Carry that conversation on with you in the comment section, but here, let's say.